I don't know. Fucking irritated and pissed off right now, bro. This is annoying. Oh my fucking gosh. What image? Whatever, dude. Just gonna run YouTube today, I suppose, huh?
I think I just won my taxes.
Oh yeah?
I just switched from TurboTax to H&R Block. It was so easy.
So
What's going on, nerds and gamers alike?
Yeah.
No, that's not. Let's try it. Dude, this chair.
Hold on. There we go.
What's going on,
Nerd
Geeks
Geeks
and
and
Gamers?
Nope.
Doing it again.
Fuck it. We're doing it live.
What's up, Nerd Geeks and Gamers alike? Welcome to another episode of the Nsquared podcast. How you all doing? We got an echo. That's a first.
How about now?
Are you sure, Snark? Mike.
I mean,
Microphone.
we have all the settings.
Hold on. Stop talking. 1 second. Microphone. Try it again. How are we doing now? I think I got it.
Wait, what?
Let me know now.
How does that sound?
How are we doing now? Is there an echo?
Test.
Do you hear the crackling?
Yeah,
I hate that shit, dude.
I know.
You didn't do that until I plugged your ass in. You can still hear it? Yes or no? Good? We're good? We good? I see one good. And I see nice, but I don't know if that's in correlation.
I don't know, but Eugene says you look better without the stash, you fuck.
Go to fucking hell. I'm fucking Johnny Cage. Alright, cool. Yeah, so we had, for some reason, your mic had 2 channels open.
What the fuck?
Yeah, weird. Alright, well, let's try this again, shall we? What's up, nerd geeks and gamers alike? It's your boy Nerdy Nick back with best friend Doc
What's up?
for another episode of the Nsquared podcast. But before we get a little ahead of ourselves, we'd like to go ahead and thank our sponsors over at HubDaddyStore.com. Using code Mustache10, which is now irrelevant, you can get yourself 10% off your order of coffee, candles in mugs that you can use then later for the coffee, and more over at HubDaddyStore.com using code Mustache10 and W.GG. Head on over to W.GG using code Nsquared10 at checkout to get yourself 10% off your order of energy drink supplements, whether that's in the powder form, ready to mix whenever you want, or in the can. So you can just pop that bad boy open and kiss those sweet, sweet energy lows behind. Made in the United States under GMP guidelines. There's no artificial colors, flavors, additives. None of that BS, just 150 milligrams of caffeine, ready to direct inject into your system to help you take on whatever boss awaits you. Over at W.GG using code Nsquared10. And last but certainly not least, we'd like to thank our sponsors, our show producers over at patreon.com/Nsquaredpodcast. For as little as $3, I got you for 3 minutes. For $3, you can help support our show, our channel. Just like the very fine people. Kev Called, Jordan, Snark, CSG TV, Jim from Drink a Beer Play a Game, Anonymous Mystery, Smash JT, Rat Zombie, and our permanent executive producer, Resvergram. So once again, thank you so much for supporting the channel and our show. We love our show producers, and we wouldn't have the amazing upgrades that we would without them. So once again, thank you all. Patreon.com/Nsquaredpodcast. As low as $3 a month. And with all that out of the way,
Hell yeah.
what the fuck is going on? Age-old question. What's up?
What's up? What's up?
What's up?
I'm surprised you can do that right now.
Dude, yeah, no, you forgot to turn the TV off.
I'll get that in a second.
Nah, next time you get up.
All right.
Yeah, no, dude, I am built to entertain, man. And, like, I might slow down, but I'm back up on my feet. Like that.
Yesterday's fucking voice was like, pretty much.
I just needed to, like, not talk for a couple of hours.
After all the talking you did over the weekend? Yeah.
Yeah, after all the talking. There's a lot of talking going on. I'm going to try to move the camera here. Let me see if I can remote control it. But go ahead and keep talking.
All right. But not much. We just went to Game On Expo over the weekend. Fuck yeah.
I went to Game On Expo. Josh was at Gay On Expo.
No, that was you. They even had a van there for him. What the fuck is going on with this headset?
Don't worry about it. Dude, that's the one thing about shows, or like being in the showbiz. You just got to keep going, dude.
Right.
Keep moving.
But yeah, no, they had a van there for you. It was a gamer van.
The gamer van.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it was pretty fucking fun. God, I don't even know where to begin with that shit. Although we probably shouldn't talk too much about it because that's going to be our topic later.
Well, it's going to be a topic for sure.
Yeah. So, yeah, went there. Had fun. Haven't played much past week other than, some Elden Ring. Because a friend, a friend on the Discord recently picked it up, first time playing, and I was like, shit, I kind of want to play again, so.
Oh, snap, we got one of the vendors up in the house. Had a good time seeing you at our booth. Hope you're enjoying your Ghost Hunter.
Oh, shit.
Nice, dude. Hey,
Oh,
dude.
shit.
What's going on, my dude? Yeah, that is seriously probably one of the best pickups I got this weekend. Thank you so much for that sweet hookup deal, dude. You are great. Yeah, we'll get to pickups here in a little bit. Spoiler alert, I got a game that I was looking for like the last 10 years, and I finally came across it. Great price, great vendor. So, yeah, I'm very excited about that. Very excited.
But yeah, that's pretty much what I've been up to. What about you?
Eugene says, if we were in prison, you wouldn't last 5 minutes in me. Yo, we got Super Monster Party in the house! What's going on, dude? This guy is non-stop too, man. Oh my gosh. Dude. E. Parker, sorry to spoil the fun. No, dude, don't worry about it. Not at all, dude. Oh my gosh. So excited for today's podcast, guys. Today's live stream. We got so much to talk about, so much goodness, and we got a lot of good Q&A from Patreon as well.
Nice.
For the Patreon question block of the week. Which again, head on over to patreon.com. Minimum of $3 a month. You help support our channel and our show. And you get your questions read on stream in its very own segment. So, yeah, we were at Game On Expo. Not a whole lot of gaming going on, console-wise. We did play some arcade games.
Oh yeah.
We did actually get a little bit of time in with Tekken Tag on the PS2. You played an Atari Jaguar for the first time in your life.
Which was wild.
Yeah. But again, that controller, you probably didn't, the way it looked, you probably didn't expect it to feel good, right?
Oh, dude, for an old school system, it was probably the best feeling controller I've ever gotten my hands on.
It's like a man's controller.
Yeah.
Like, if you were a little kid, that would be way... It's like using the original Duke controller for the Xbox.
Oh, yeah.
When you're a little kid, dude, you're like,
it
this is
feels
fucking
massive.
huge. Yeah. But yeah, we played a little bit of Rayman on the Jaguar, and that thing runs super smooth too. Bring the music down a hair. You got it, Snark.
Thank you, Snark.
There we go. We're gonna skip that song. Ooh, good old Eve 6. Yo, what's up, Seattle Chef? We got Seattle Chef in the house, dude. We are having a packed night so far, dude. Right. A-listers in the house.
Oh, don't forget, we played some fucking Dance Dance.
Dance Dance Revolution.
Yeah.
Your boy set new record. You know, and it's hilarious because if you've seen Grandma's Boy, you know the scene where Nick Swartzman gets challenged by one of the like new interns or whatever, and then he's pretending like, oh my god, I'm so scared, and then he beats him in the head on, and he goes, oh, new score? What does that mean? New high score? Did I break it? So after I schooled Josh in Dance Dance Revolution, I got a new high score on the machine, and I was like, what does that mean? Did I break it? What?
To be fair, that's not a really good comparison because you're very athletic. I'm not.
Oh, bro. You're gonna do that? Yeah, well, I got like fucking size 12 to 13 feet, and those squares are almost as, like, my shoes barely fit in those squares. So if you I was looking back because Brittany recorded us playing that. I am like on my toes the whole time trying to get my feet to fit in the fucking squares.
Yeah.
It's so much fun though. He got really good girth.
Oh my god.
Yeah, dude. So Snark says, "Damn, I haven't played DDR since I shown up too much and ended up shredding my knee." What? Snark, I don't understand what the fuck you're saying, bro. But yeah, dude. Game on Expo was just absolutely fucking amazing. Very, very great time. 10-year anniversary. Like we've said it over and over again. Advertising leading up to the show. You know, we were guests. Our panel kicked fucking ass. And anyone who saw it since we streamed it, dudes, thank you so much. Again, shout out to our mod Snark for moderating during the live panel on Saturday. Normally that's not a streaming day for us, so he stepped up and modded for us on his day off. You need some bull airs, dude. I know I do, but they're not gonna lie, they're priced a little out of my range, bro. I see their campaigns all the time, and I'm like, I want that pair. I want that pair. The Genesis pair looks fucking sick, but as Queen says, I'm just a poor boy. Yeah, man. But yeah, so, and it's funny too because I was wearing my my Nike Air Force Ones.
Oh yeah.
So they were big chonky boys. Yeah. So what does the red zombie say? Snark, how many beers deep are you already? Here, let's see, man.
You gotta play catch up with Snark now.
You know what? I would actually like to play some Super Monster Party since we got the man in the house here. We're not gonna get like our channel struck by you guys, are we? I know sometimes it's just automatic, so. Just gonna play some music in the background. No beers tonight.
What?
No beers. Beers for fears. Yeah, whatever. All right. As my computer tries to play catch up here. So.
How bizarre.
How bizarre. How bizarre. What do you want? We should just get into the fucking questions, shouldn't we?
I mean, yeah, but you're also searching that up.
I know, I'm fucking. I can't fucking type and talk at the same time. How bizarre. Spelled party with a F. Super Monster Party.
Farty.
Farty. There we go. Oh yeah.
Yeah, I was also super curious to see. There we go.
Yeah. They actually got AVGN in the video too. Yeah. Found me some good workout music. So let's go ahead and open up the Patreon question block of the week. Once again, shilling this fucking Patreon. Head on over to patreon.com for as little as $3 a month. You can have your questions read, and you're supporting the channel directly because we are viewer supported. We are not yet monetized on YouTube.
I know the damn YouTube requirements.
I know, dude. They fucking. It's like, oh, congratulations, you reached the goal post. Well, guess what? We're moving it back further now because we need you to do this step. And then after you do that, oh, congrats, we need you to do this now.
It's like,
and then this.
It's like playing a fucking shitty RPG. Oh, this is step 1 of like a million.
Dude, there are so many fucking side quests.
Yeah.
To getting fucking. Dude, I remember before back in the day, it was just like, how many views you got? All right, you're cool.
Right?
Get in. All right, so first up, Jordan asks, hi, great seeing you guys this weekend. I attended Sam Whitworth's panel and did the meet and greet autograph with him. I'm sorry, I don't know why I'm reading it like that. I'm so fucking hyper right now. Autograph with him before I rushed to your panel. Which leads me to my question. If you could meet any voice actor or actor that frequents cons, who would it be? Mine would be Ewan McGregor and Hayden Christensen. Also, are you guys going to Phoenix Fan Fusion? I'm kind of fucking broke after Game On, dude.
Dude, I know.
Woo! Spent a little more than I was planning to.
I didn't buy much, but I spent more than I wanted. Well, actually went under budget, kind of. But the fucking food was expensive. God damn it.
Dude, yes.
Holy fuck.
I wanted to look at the fucking waiter after some of these menus that I looked at and just wanted to go, boy. These food prices are ridiculous.
Right?
Yeah, yeah. Bro, like $20 for a fucking dry ass burger to come out fucking an hour late.
Right.
You know, Super Monster Party will be able, he was there. He was there when that happened. And they fucking forgot ABGN's food. Yeah, it was fucking ridiculous.
Jeez.
Anyways, do you have anyone specific that you would want to meet?
Honestly, I'm one of those type of people that meeting famous people it's not on my list of things to do in life.
Yeah.
Like, I honestly couldn't care if I met famous people or not. But if I had to pick one famous person, I don't want to say voice actor because there's not really any voice actors.
Okay.
Oh, wait, no, she didn't say voice actors, did she?
She did. She said voice actors/actors.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
If I want to say actors, I would go with Henry Cavill.
Fair. He's one of us.
Dude, exactly.
One of us.
One of us.
Yeah.
You know? And the thing is, he's on your side of the gamer spectrum, where he actually fucking works out. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I could be fucking Superman. I'm probably too big for Superman. With the way they portray him nowadays.
Oh, yeah.
They want him a little more slender. I don't know.
It's
That'd be a
kinda
good
dumb.
question to ask you guys. Is like, what fucking realistic superhero would I be?
Oh, there's a lot.
Like, I'm too tall to be Wolverine. I would want it to be like comic accurate. You know what I mean?
Ah, okay. I was gonna say, it's like, dude, you had the perfect like figure for
Yeah.
him, but
Snark says, gun show. Gun show!
yeah.
Yeah! Anyways. For you, so you answered the question, right? Henry Cavill?
Yeah,
Yeah, Warhammer 40k, dude.
exactly.
For me, I already kind of met the person I wanted to meet, which was Sean Schemmel, the voice actor of Goku, amongst other things. I suppose we could add Chris Sabat to that list. You know, the voice actor of All Might in My Hero Academia,
Oh, okay.
Vegeta, Piccolo in Dragon Ball.
Okay.
I kind of do a pretty good Piccolo, as well as All Might. So it'd be fun to like do a line together, you know, for the camera.
Oh, okay.
That'd
yeah.
be fun. You know, not a line, but a scripted line, if you know what I mean. You know, like, yeah,
Hey, we don't do drugs here, at least, you know, on our side, so
yeah.
I don't think anybody ever thought of that.
Rat Zombie says not a hero, but Bane.
Okay.
I mean, sure. Other than you'd have to combine like 12 of me. And I am not a fan of Tom Hardy's Bane.
You said, okay, aside from Tom Hardy thing, but you said realistic hero, or realistic hero.
I was born in the darkness. You merely adopted it.
Dude, that was fucking spot on too.
Yeah. With
See,
Tom
dude, look
Hardy's
at-
vein?
No, I could be fucking conceited and say me, because no shade to voice actors, because I think I throw a lot of shade at them a lot of times. But those are more like the snooty ones that I've had like bad encounters with. Here's the deal. Like, I am actively trying to be a voice actor. So I don't know. I don't think it's that hard. But I don't know. This is gonna bite me in the ass. Watch. This is gonna turn. I'm not gonna get booked at all or anything. Rat Zombie says perfect. Mystically says David Hayter. Yeah, I met David Hayter last year. He was pretty cool. Eugene says, "Hey, that was pretty good."
Right? No, I was.
Yeah, no, yeah.
I was gonna say for the Tom Hardy's Bane, for a realistic Bane, it's pretty good physique wise. I feel like you're bigger than him.
Well, yeah, totally.
Yeah.
And I didn't have to like break my body to do it either.
Right.
And
then, but the second thing I was gonna say, my issue with the Tom Hardy Bane is that they went with Tom Hardy. I love him as an actor. He
Yeah.
does a great job. But Bane's fucking Mexican.
Right. But I mean, like we've joked about this before. How Johnny Cage was originally Mexican and now he's evolved into a white guy over time. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, anyways, yeah. So I would say probably like Chris Sabat, would be a good one. That's off the top of my head, yeah. Because I've been privy enough to like go to several events, be backstage, say hellos and shake hands with people. Like last year, I met Patricia Somerset on her birthday. Had birthday cake with her as we sang happy birthday, sitting right next to her. I was like smack dab in the middle of David Hayter and Patricia Somerset, and I was like, what the fuck is happening with me in life right now? It was absolutely amazing. So, excuse me. Next question. Oh, she also said, are we going to Phoenix Fan Fusion? I think I already kind of answered that by saying I'm pretty fucking broke now.
Yeah.
From Game On. Yeah.
I mean, the goal is to eventually be able to go one day.
Yeah, it's fucking massive. So it's in the same building, but they utilize like all 3 floors.
Wow.
Yeah, it's fucking huge.
Yeah, so like we said, the goal is to go one day, but I don't think we can go this year.
Yeah.
I mean, I spent a pretty penny this year.
Yeah. You know what other voice I do really well is Venom. I've done that a bunch of times on the show.
I don't remember.
Yeah, he's like,
Eddie,
Oh yeah, yeah. You do.
you're a loser
Yeah.
yeah.
like me.
All right, what do we got next?
Next up, Anonymous Mystery asks, what was a special item you guys were not able to buy, whether it was space, price, or just practicality, whatever the reason? So did you see shit? I know you did. What? Besides that, like, huge Chun-Li figure.
No. Okay, I didn't want that. I didn't want it. I was just like, what the fuck?
I didn't want it. I needed it. I needed it good loud.
No, I just saw it. I was like, dude, who the fuck is gonna pay that
What
much
was
for
it, like
that?
$3,000 or something?
No, it was $1,000, but it was a fucking Chun-Li figure in a bikini. It's like, honestly, it should be
Yeah.
worth less because there's less fucking items on it. You know, there's less material. Wait, what?
Oh, Rat Zombie says, this caked up cosplayer was telling me Fan Fusion is dope. Yeah, no, it does look really awesome. And then he says, I know which one I want it, in reference to the statue. That's great.
No, if there's anything that I wanted to get, but it's just a little bit too pricey, were the Gundam fucking figurines. Oh, the
The
models, yeah.
Yeah, the gunplay or whatever they're called. I
The
think it's
Gunpla?
called Isn't it gunplay?
It's Gunplay, but it's spelled Gunpla. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna say Gunpla.
Hard A, capital A.
Gunplay. There we go.
Yeah, gunplay.
Honestly, there was a few of them that looked just dope as shit, but they were like $300+. I'm like, not yet.
E. Parker says, to give some vendor insight, those expensive statues do move eventually, but yeah, you sit on them for a while.
Oh yeah, I could.
Yeah, I'm sure, man.
Yeah.
But
they're probably worth holding on to until they sell.
Oh yeah, I would imagine so. And like the thing is too, when you buy them initially, if you're like, I would say a lot of them are it's like special event or like collector editions. They come with something else.
Yeah.
Like for instance, a lot of like the statuettes for video games. They come with the pre-orders of like the fucking collector set, like the Doom, Doom Eternal. It came with like a fucking statuette of the Doom Slayer.
Yeah.
And whatnot. And then eventually they get separated out, and someone will just like get rid of the statue by itself, and then it becomes an even higher valued item.
Oddly enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was something for me? I know I grabbed a few games when you were with me, and I was like, nah, I better put that back.
Yeah.
I mean, E. Parker, when I was stacking up a pile of maybe games with you, there were some games that I had to just kind of put away just because of budget's sake. And it's not like they were even expensive games, because I'm at a point in where I am with my collection where I look at it and I go, I think I have everything I want, except for maybe like a handful of games. So it's not like I'm out there just trying to collect this and that and everything in between. You know, like, all respect to guys like Gabo the Giver, shout out to Gabo, who are doing like complete sets. You know, I don't care for the shovelware shit.
Yeah.
You know, all of the, I don't need every copy of Madden. You know what I mean? On the SNES or whatever.
Right.
So, I did come across, was it Splatter? It was Splatterhouse 2. And I saw it and I looked and I just went, nope. And I put it down as fast as I picked it up because I didn't want to have it in my hand long enough to consider buying it.
Oh yeah.
Because it was like at 200 and something bucks. And I was just like, I can't do that. I can't.
I know.
As a responsible adult, I cannot.
Mm-hmm.
I have ways to play this game already because I have Splatterhouse on the Xbox 360 and the PS3, and that has 1, 2, and 3 on it already. Yeah. Oh yeah. Dude, we have, you'll notice if you stick around, we have a great playlist going. This is actually my birthday party playlist. I just play it every show, and we always get compliments on the soundtrack, so enjoy yourself.
And no, it is not his birthday.
It's not my birthday, no. It will be in June, though, June 23rd. I always like to joke that Sonic the Hedgehog and I debuted in North America on June 23rd, 1991. There was a game, though, that I could not find to save my life. I will say that. It was Twisted Metal Small Brawl. That is one of the last PS1 games that I am actively looking for, and I cannot find it anywhere.
Yeah, because I remember you were looking for the Mortal Kombat Armageddon, was it? Or was it
Huh?
Mortal Kombat? That one Mortal Kombat game that you told me to look for.
Deadly Alliance?
Deadly Alliance. There we go.
Yeah.
I remember because like we were looking for that. Like as soon as you told me, hey, look for it, we found it in like 30 seconds. But in Small Brawl, we could
found
not.
like 3 editions of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I found it on GameCube when you were looking on PS2. And then when you had already found it on PS2, I found like the collector edition with the Sub-Zero on it. I'm like, man, why can't some games be this fucking easy to find? I swear.
Yeah, Small Brawl was like
And
nowhere.
it's funny because Twisted Metal Small Brawl is not an expensive game, but it's not a common game.
Yeah.
It's like fucking pulling a fucking Beedrill, non-hollow. That'll happen all the time. You know? But whatever. Anyways, fucking bullshit. Yeah. Next up, we've got from CSGTV, aka Eugene in the chat. He says, favorite thing about the convention this year. I fucking hate this question so much.
I know, there's too many.
It is so fucking hard to answer.
There's too many good things about the convention.
So many good things to say. I don't know why I'm talking like this.
I don't know either. You're racist.
Oh, I'm not even. I can't even do that right now.
You fucking idiot.
This guy's never seen Big Trouble in Little China.
Yeah, we had that conversation in the middle of the con.
Yeah,
The
I forgot
con.
who it was with.
Fuck.
But they were like, "What the fuck's wrong with you?"
And it was that dude that had the VHSs.
Was it?
I think so, because I think it was when we saw the VHS of it.
I don't remember. Anyways, what was your favorite thing about the show?
Fuck.
Favorite thing about Game On? Also, trust me, I fucking filmed a lot while we were at Game On. There is going to be a Game On Expo video coming out either at the end of this week or sometime next week. So stay tuned because what we speak of here is is only just a little bit of what's involved in that video. So.
Honestly, it's fucking hard to say. Like, I love the gaming section. I love the vendor section.
I gotta change the song real fast.
Oh.
There we
Fuck.
go. What?
It's hard to choose what I loved about it.
Well, I mean, you have to.
I know.
You have to.
No. I guess the best thing I can say is...
This question is the equivalent of like having two kids tied to two separate railroad tracks, and you can only save one.
I know.
That is so fucked up.
God, that's like the best way to fucking, describe it. I guess just the atmosphere. Cause like how Smash JC's son said it during the
The way you said it, Smash JC's son. You know mine?
Yeah. Smash JT's son.
Smash Junior.
Smash Jr.
Yeah.
said it during their panel. Everybody's just so fucking nice. Everybody's just so kind. Granted, part of it's because everybody's socially awkward, but it's fucking fantastic.
Yeah.
It's like you don't have any fucking issues.
Yeah, not really, man.
And like it makes the atmosphere just that much better, you know? What do you say?
Have you paid your dues, Jack? Yes, sir. The check is in the mail. I don't remember. I don't know what that's in reference to. Do you know? Damn it, Tommy boy.
It might be from, Big Trouble in Little Chinatown, but...
Oh, yeah, sorry. Hello. I've already fucking moved on, and I'm like, dirt. Jack.
How did I figure that out without having seen the movie?
I don't know, dude. I don't know. Kurt Russell's a fucking G in that movie. He is like, he's fucking great because you think because of like the movie poster and shit, he's gonna be a badass. He gets fucking knocked around and he like is a wuss and like half of the time it's fucking hilarious.
Kurt Russell, really?
Yeah. He's like the he is like, god damn it.
See,
Unlock me.
It wasn't my fault this time.
Hold on, now I just realized I have a companion app for this this camera, and I can just control it right here.
Way too much. There you go.
Maybe a little bit more.
There you
In the right to there. Yeah. So what were we talking about? Kurt Russell. Yeah. No, he's pretty good in that movie, man. His character is just kind of like silly though. It's like Indiana Jones. How like. Yeah, he can still get his ass kicked.
go. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
so do you have an answer for the question? And while you ponder that, I'm going to go with the ear.
Yeah, turn off the TV while you're going that way. Have you paid your dues, Jack? Yes, sir. Checks in the mail. All right, so for me, my favorite thing of the expo this year, and I kind of already made a social media post about it, but it was just how holy fuck. All I did was take a breath, guys. I am sorry. That just escaped. That smells strong. That is very strong smell there. Thank you for that. God damn it. Welcome to the Nsquared podcast, folks. Hope you're not a new viewer, because you'd probably turn away after that. Or if you are a new viewer, I hope you enjoyed it. So, yeah. It's kind of corny or hokey or whatever, but I really just love seeing everybody. Whether it's friends that I've made along the way throughout the convention scene and stuff, like running into Jason and John, or the Johns and the Jeffs. Because I know multiple Johns and multiple Jeffs. Running into Carlos and Daniel Pacina, Anthony Marquez, Liz, Hosung Pak, like all the people from Mortal Kombat. Like, just seeing everybody. It's just so much fun. Reggie, Elvis. Just seeing all of our friends. All of the friends I've made, years ago that I still see today, and then making new friends. That belch was wild. Yeah, it was, dude. I literally just opened my mouth and it just escaped. And seeing new friends and making new friends, like the lead singer from Super Monster Party, all the guys from Rex Viper. There's something really cool that I'll talk about during our real Game On segment with me and Rex Viper and James Rolfe, aka the Angry Video Game Nerd. And just like all the wild shenanigans that I get pulled into, that I think Jeff from Collector Protector said it best at the bar. Was it after the first night of the show?
Yeah.
He goes, every year, how do you do it? And he's just going, every year you get into something absolutely crazy. How do you do it? And I'm like, all I said was, I'm incredibly lucky. And that's it. I am incredibly lucky. My 10, 15, even 20-year-old self would not imagine ever having the connections that I do, the knowing the people I know, rubbing shoulders with so on and so forth. Like, I don't know if a lot of you all know this, but like, I used to just be like all of you guys, just like a fan of everyone, and I would post pictures of meeting these people for the first time, and then I would post pictures of me later on as I just become friends with these people, like staying the week at their houses and visiting and going on vacations and hanging out and stuff. It's absolutely wild. Like when I went jet skiing with Metal Jesus in Seattle in 2020, I was like, what is life right now, dude? This is nuts. This is so cool. Going down to his basement and seeing the fucking game room and everything and sleeping over and stuff. Like, it was wild. Going to Game On Expo and meeting Daniel Pacina and Carlos Pacina and all them for the first time was so wild. And then now we're like on a phone number basis and stuff. Like, it's all crazy. And I don't take any of it for granted, because all these people are just so amazing. And I do get imposter syndrome still, and I fight it dearly at shows, even on the stream here on the show. Because if you're a long-time viewer of us, at least with the Nsquared podcast, maybe not so much the long-form videos that I put out, because it's just me and a camera and a predetermined subject and goal there. But here on the show, like, you just see us, and this is pretty much how we are all the time. And I go and I think to myself, why people want to be friends with us? People want to see us. People will want to go to our panel and listen to us talk and be dumb, but they do. And I think that is my long-winded answer, is just seeing everybody, new and old, as far as like relationships and friendships go. Yeah. I think it's always fun. It's fun to see old friends, and it's thrilling to make new ones. And then just making new connections too, man. It's just rad. So cheers to that. I want to do a cheers to that.
Salute.
All right, last question up here. It says from Kev Called. Hope the convention went well, boys. What is the number one most important travel item? That's a good question, dude. That is a absolutely good question.
Sorry, I was reading the chat. What was
okay, so Kev Called asks, or says, hope the convention went well, boys. What is your number one most important travel item?
I'm not trying to throw shade. Deodorant.
That's a good one.
Deodorant.
That's a good one. Mm-hmm. It was actually really funny when we were giving away the soaps from Tom, aka Eugene, aka CSGTV, at our panel, because we had these really awesome soaps to give away. There's a couple right there. Here, let's see them, and we'll throw Tommy Boy a little advert here. So he makes these really cool soaps. This is like in the shape of a Doom, floppy disk. And this is the shape of a N64 cart. So we had given away some of his soaps that he makes at the panel, and I was like, you are all the smelliest fucking average looking gamers around. It's time that you guys smell good and look good. Like I was just being a fucking asshole, like a dummy or whatever. But that's how we roll. That's the Nsquared podcast. But yeah, no, deodorant. I don't think I actually walked next to somebody where I was like, oh goddamn.
I think it's the fact that you are so engrossed in a lot of your conversations that you didn't smell some of them. But there were some times where I was sitting there while you were conversing with people. Somebody walks by and I'm just like, bro, I smell you and you're like 20 feet away from me right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's bad.
Yeah.
That's no good. So Josh says deodorant. I would say toothpaste. I think toothpaste is crucial.
Yeah.
Just as much as deodorant is.
Both are
But
like,
you need, bro. Okay. Someone's pits smell? Yeah, that's pretty bad.
somebody's breath.
When somebody's breath smells and you are literally face to face with them. Like, dude, your pits, if they smell, they're gonna permeate about this far, maybe a little bit more from the body.
Depending how bad they are, yeah.
When you're talking to someone face to face, as you're speaking, that bad breath is backed behind the fucking air coming out of your mouth. So it's literally being shoved into your face. God, that's
yeah.
terrible.
Yeah.
So I would say toothpaste.
Dude, like, I'm self-conscious about that shit all the fucking time. I'm like, dude, bro, I feel like my mouth, like, smells shitty. You know what I mean?
We got Smash JT in the house.
Yo!
Yo, yo, yo. Yeah, bro, thank you so much for your kindness, bro. Thank you so much for your friendship. We had a really good time out with you at Game On Expo.
Oh, yeah.
You know, at your panel, and of course, going to dinner with everybody. Oh, you're literally saying the same shit I am. Yeah. Big old circle jerk. Anonymous Mystery says it's science. It is literally science. Yeah, I would say those things. And then of course you could say like fresh underwear, fresh socks, but I think after those two things, right? Underwear and toothpaste and deodorant, you know, it's just kind of common sense stuff. But you would think putting on deodorant would be common sense at a convention, dude, but holy fuck.
Dude, remember Saturday? When we went back to the hotel when you swapped out, I didn't even change clothes. And I still fucking re-upped on deodorant.
Smash JT says Nsquared got a quick cameo in my video today. Dude, I'll have to check it out. I have not been able to do anything today. Life went back to normal like that for me today. I woke up. I think I posted a little bit of stuff real fast. I made a thumbnail for our panel and then reposted our panel. And then I was just watching our son all morning.
You're being a good dad.
And then I went to work to do an estimate to paint a house, retile a shower, and so much other stuff. And this was like a 45-minute drive away from here.
Yeah.
Came back here and got ready for the podcast. Oh, and I dropped off my taxi. Yeah, real fun stuff.
Right?
So I'll have to check out your video, dude. And then he says, you guys had an awesome panel. Dude, thank you so much, man. Thank you.
Yeah.
Look it, not to be conceited, but I think we fucking have a great panel every time. I think if showrunners saw our panel, we would be at every show across the country. I'm not trying to be pompous here. I'm not trying to fucking toot my own horn or anything. But we bring the energy. Well, I'm sorry. I bring the energy. You are the you are the yin to my yang. You know what I mean?
I keep you in control.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's what makes this fucking dynamic duo work.
You're right.
Right? Because if it was just me, I'd be like Donnie from the Wild Thornberries. You know what I mean?
Yeah, mellow it out a little bit.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, just the fact that it's because we're always trying to be interactive with the panels, and I think that that's something that, you know. Huh?
No, keep talking.
Oh, okay.
Bro, you gotta learn to
I
keep
know.
talking.
Well, you said holy shit. I was like, what's
Yeah,
going
no,
on?
No. I could fucking fart and say holy shit, and you're gonna be like, huh? And I'm gonna be like, I farted. And then you're gonna feel like an idiot because you stopped because I farted.
I will hear the fart, you fucker. But yeah, no. I was being interactive with the crowd is definitely what helps the most.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, well, and that's the thing too, man. Like when I cultivate a panel or a panel idea or you know, a structure of a panel, I always think about what do I want to hear? What would I want to hear out of the panel? And I think the most excellent thing that you can do is include your audience. And a lot of panelists don't necessarily do that until like the very end where it's like a Q&A.
Yeah.
You know, like dude, a lot of you guys who've been to the conventions and stuff, you've paid your dues to get in, you've probably walked around and shopped a lot. Sometimes you go see a panel just to take a breather and take a seat, rest those sweaty ass dogs of yours. And then maybe see if something's fun or not, right? And other times you like really look forward to a panel, so you go and you just want to go and listen to see what they say or whatever. I like to have a mix of both because we do have some interesting takes. I will say between the two of us, because we don't see eye to eye on every single thing, we have a very broad reach.
Oh yeah.
As far as like what people will hear from us.
Oh yeah.
Like during our panel, I straight up said Resident Evil 4 is the worst Resident Evil of all time. And I said it ruined Resident Evil, and that started a giant argument, a good faith argument in the crowd and everything, right? And that's me, dude. That's what I like to do, and I think it's extremely fun. Fashionably late as usual. Toy Box Time Machine. What's up, Jordan? Glad you're here.
Glad to have you.
And glad you're here, AJK. It's been forever, dude. He says, hey guys, been a little bit. Congrats on the panels. Thank you so much. And then, hold on, let me catch up real fast. Ando Gamer says, hey guys, it was a fun panel. I was the guy who picked Gradius 5 for your list. Didn't you also win the... No, that was Sasquatch. Ando... Oh, yes, Gradius 5, because that's when you said Snark was like... you read Snark's comment line. Yeah. It was a fun expo, no doubt. Dude, thank you for coming to our panel, and thanks for watching tonight, man.
Fuck yeah.
Thanks for the I'm assuming you subscribed, so thank you, dude.
Even if you didn't, fuck yeah that you're here. Hell yeah.
But subscribe. E. Parker says, I just got home around the time you guys started streaming, so I'm excited to check out your panel VOD tomorrow when I'm back at my day job. Fuck yeah, dude. Thank you. Thank you, man. And if you ever vend at Game On again, or if you're vending at any other convention and I might be there, let me know, dude. I will definitely swing by the booth. Ando Gamer says it was very interactive and entertaining. And then Red Zombie says I felt the energy through the VOD. LOL.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I watched it back a little bit just to kind of, because you know sometimes at convention centers you have like the worst fucking reception.
Oh yeah.
So I'm glad they have the panels upstairs, or like on the or street level rather. Because if you were downstairs, bro, you would not be able to fucking broadcast anything.
Bro, I
you're like
had
in
no
a fucking you're
signal.
in a World War II bunker down there, you know?
Yeah, no, I had no fucking signal at the con.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was pretty fucking bad. I mean, the signal.
E. Parker says, yeah, man, I got a schedule for the rest of the year. I can let you know. Haha. Yeah, dude, follow me on, you can follow me on Instagram at nerdynick_91 or on X at buffnerd. You just fucking shoot me a DM or whatever, dude.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, dude, I don't know. Here I am fucking being pompous and shit. No, I really do. I think more shows need to take more chances on us.
Mm-hmm.
Or me at the very least.
Yeah.
Because I think I bring a lot of entertainment value to conventions, no doubt.
Oh yeah.
I'm always running around talking with people. No, that's my son. You guys probably heard him. But yeah, no. Anyways, if you're a convention showrunner or whatever, hit me up.
Get this guy on it.
Looking for a booking. So shall we move on to our main topic, Game On Expo?
Wait, did you read
We're
Rat
already
Zombies?
on it.
Rat Zombies question? Up above?
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
okay.
because he forgot
I forgot
to-
to submit a question, so I'll ask here. What is something you would have changed for next year? Did the bands having to play outside ruin the vibes?
Honestly, I feel like the band being on the outside was better for the con.
I think so too. I do like how they used to have them play inside for visuals' sake.
Yeah. There was just too much going on.
Gordo Steen in the house says, or Stein. Is it Steen? Steen. Stein would be IE, right?
I think that's Stein.
Gordo says, it was a great panel for sure, Johnny Cage. Yeah, everyone's here for the star. Smash JT says BRB. Or Burb. Burb. That's how I always read it. I go Burb.
Gordo says, I agree with the band being outside too. Ando says, hey Gordon. Wait.
Gordon.
Gordon?
Gordon, they probably know each other on a first name basis.
Yeah, I know. It's just, it threw me out with the N. I was like, I don't see an N there. Except at the end.
So, Britt says, I like the bands being outside as I also like that I could hear them from the hotel. Great weather for outside music. Thank goodness, and then Ando says to hop onto that, coincidentally, thank goodness the weather was great this weekend.
Right?
Yeah, so back to the question, what would you change for next year?
Honestly, as a convention goer,
Yeah.
there's not much I could really ask for in changes wise.
Okay.
Because I feel like they improved drastically in a lot of aspects.
Hold on. Gordo says, either. My favorite movie is Young Frankenstein, so either way fits if you know the movie. Yeah. No, it's Frankenstein! You're Frankenstein.
There you go.
Yeah, that's such a good movie, dude. I fucking love that movie. I have the collector edition back there.
I can't even see it.
Right there.
Wow. Okay.
Werewolf. Werewolf. There, castle.
Well, there you go. It's Gordelstein because it's Frankenstein.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jordan says I didn't like this setup this year.
What?
That's very interesting because last year, I feel like in this year we're pretty much the same. This year they did expand and add even more square footage and utilize pretty much the entire bottom level of the north building.
Yeah, and I don't want to go into that detail just yet because I wanted to kind of leave that for the main topic of Game On.
Yeah, in the video that I'll be putting out, you can see I filmed a lot of just everything down there and upstairs as well.
Yeah. Yeah, so there's not really much I would say as a con goer, regular person.
Would you like a warm milk with Ovaltine? Sorry, we're just gonna be fucking shooting fucking Young Frankenstein quotes now. Damn your eyes! Too late. Sorry. Alright, go ahead, dude. I'm gonna fucking...
I know.
I'm gonna mute my mic.
You're going to Kanye West me all night. I know that.
Yeah. Fucking, I'm gonna let you finish, but...
But yeah, honestly, as a con goer, there's nothing I could say I could change because it felt fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of improvements compared to last year.
Yeah.
But we'll get to that later.
Yeah.
As a guest, the purple room is the only thing I'll change.
Well, yeah, but we're not gonna talk about that. No. Yeah, no, that you need to learn time and place for that kind of stuff.
All right.
Ando says, I preferred the setup of the expo this year. The only thing I didn't like this year was the strange placement of the YouTubers, of John Riggs, etc. Well, they were wrong, weren't they? Yeah, so that's what I was actually going to say, Ando, is the talent as far as like the YouTubers go and whatnot, right? So you had like Paul Niemeyer, Howard Scott Warshaw, and like AVGN and Rex Viper, like all on one side. And then on the other side of the hall, you had John Riggs.
Oh, yeah, no, I see.
John Hancock, like Metal Jesus, Brett Weiss, and all them on the other side. So, excuse me, it was kind of, it wasn't cohesive that way. It used to be, they would have all the big voice actors, and then the YouTubers and whoever else was like a fancy guest invited, all on one side. And then it would be like Artist Alley, and then it would be all video game vendors, and then it would be the free play arcade and stuff. And I'm talking from like years past.
All right.
It was like in the South building.
Okay, I see the cohesiveness of the setup. I see what you guys are getting.
Yeah. So theming, or not theming. Well, yeah, generally theming, because before you would have Artist Alley, then video game vendors and stuff, right?
Yeah.
So this year, and I want to say last year too, it was really just like mixed around, which is like, I kind of get it.
It's not bad, but like thinking of it in that perspective, vendor-wise, the way they did it this year kind of made sense, because it was kind of like game vendor, product vendor, then Artist Alley. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It kind of was like games, products, and then art, right?
Yeah.
In a lot of aspects of it.
Yeah.
But the issue was with the actual like creators, like YouTube creators, should I say?
Right.
Or artists.
Yeah, content creators.
Yeah, content creators. That was where it was kind of fucked up. Like, not where, it was horrible, but it just didn't make sense.
Yeah, and to go off of what Rat Zombie says, yes, he says it was mixed last year for sure. Lots of anime mixed in with the gaming stuff. Sounds like they made some good improvements. And this year, I kind of feel like we had a contrary belief compared to like Radical Reggie and a couple others, where we saw way more gaming vendors this time around than last year. And they were like, man, I don't really think there were that many gaming vendors this year compared to last year. But last year I do think was way more scarce with gaming vendors than this year. I think this year for sure I saw way more gaming vendors out there, which is great, because for me personally, when I attend a gaming expo, I want to buy games.
Yeah.
And I don't want to just go, to one booth that has one limited selection. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I'll be right back. I have to go help Brittany in the kitchen real fast.
All right. Yeah, no, so let's catch up with the chat a little bit before I continue saying what I had to say. Endo. Okay, wait, no, hold on. Shit, damn. Chat's going off today, so. Dumb autocorrect. Okay. Okay, Jordan says, I didn't like the setup. Wait, no, we already went over that. Which is interesting. Jordan, explain to us why you didn't like this setup. Honestly, I kind of enjoyed it. It felt a lot more comfortable. But we'll go over that later. But I do want to hear your opinion on it. Because I think me and Nick agree that it felt better this year. Gordo says, I got it on Laserdisc not long ago. Would you like to roll in the hay? Huh? Confusion. Britt says this year was my favorite setup. Yeah, so far, yeah. It definitely was my favorite setup this year. At least for the North Hall. The way they did it in the South Hall wasn't bad either. But they had limited space, less vendors and all that. Ando says, I prefer to set up in setup of the expo this year. The only thing I didn't like this year was the strange placement of the YouTubers of John Rig, etc. Okay, yeah. Which was what we were talking about.
Yeah, so like it was a bit weird. Oh, this song sucks.
It's your birthday mix.
I know, I need to take it off. I don't know why it's on there. Like it was weird. So like Paul Niemeyer, he is the original artist on the Mortal Kombat games. He came up with the logo and all that stuff. He is normally right next to the Mortal Kombat cast.
Yeah.
Of all the games, right? This year they had him on complete separate parts of the show floor, which we saw like Carlos and Daniel Pacina and all the guys from Mortal Kombat almost immediately when we came in because of what door we came through, and I didn't see Paul next to them,
which was immediately weird.
And I went, but Paul's a guest here. Where is he? And it wasn't until like the next day. It was the next day on Saturday. Because I was dressed up as Mario, I think, when I took a picture with him.
No, didn't we see him walk up to the Mortal Kombat crew? On Friday?
Yes, when he arrived. Yep,
yeah.
That's right. But I didn't see his booth until the next day, and it was clear across, literally all the way across.
Yeah,
he was even like, I don't know why I'm over here. Normally I'm right next to them.
But of course, Paul being Paul, he was very charismatic and very nonchalant about the whole situation. He's like, fuck it. It is what it is, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Anonymous Mystery says, did y'all get to step back and look, take it in? Yeah, I'm sorry, you asked that earlier and we totally got away from that question. Yes. I want to say yes. I did a few times.
Barely though.
Yeah.
I had more time than you did.
Yeah, and here's the thing. Like, we are in the main topic of Game On Expo. So, like, Rat Zombie's question pretty much bled into it.
Yeah.
So, Friday was a very fast day for me. So, gosh, let me crack a beer. This is a fun topic. This is a fun story I'm going to tell you guys. Yo, we got Elvis in the house. Is that? Yeah, that's Elvis. Yo, Chef Gaming 83, New York in the house.
Cheers,
glad you made
Elvis.
it home safe, bro. Glad you made it home safe from Game On, man.
Dude, did they keep changing your fucking flight? Dude, that shit was ridiculous.
Britt says, Nick, I thought Paul wasn't even there. Damn, that's weird. They didn't put them together in their placement. And Jordan, we'll get to you right now, but let's answer this question here first from Anonymous Mystery. So, Friday, I think, was probably either Friday or Saturday morning were the two times. Early Friday and early Saturday were the two times where I got to look around, play some games, and like enjoy the show floor with you, and just like be like dorks for a little bit before shit just got crazy and we got super busy and everything.
Yeah.
So here, like, as a guest, I feel the need to fulfill my duties. As a guest, I am there to entertain, and that is what I like to do, and that is what I want to do. The show has invited us out. You know, they've, paid for us to do this or that or whatever. Excuse me. They've, have us on the guest list. They have us on the website, our picture and stuff. They've, done this and that for us. And there's certain expectations that need to be met when you're a guest. And some guests follow that expectation, and some are just like, they show up for a little bit and then you never see them again. You're like, where the fuck are these guys? Where are they? I haven't seen them all day. I haven't seen them all weekend. I saw them Friday for like 10 minutes and now I don't see them anymore. Mm-hmm. There are certain guests out there like that do that stuff, and I am not one of those people that believe in that. When a convention invites you out to the convention as a guest and they advertise you and they shout your channel out to the thousands of followers that that the convention has and stuff, your ass better be at your booth, or your ass better be on the convention floor or at your panel on time.
Interacting with people.
Interacting with people. That is my biggest thing. I love walking the show floor and just interacting with everybody and entertaining everybody. And I was telling Josh, this year I met more unexpected fans and viewers than I ever thought I would. Just so many people coming up to me in the middle of the show going, dude, I love your show, man. I'm very familiar with your content. I love it, and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, oh, shit, thanks, man. You know, like, thank you. And there are a lot of people that watch that don't comment. There are a lot of people that watch and, you know, might not leave a like or whatever, but they do watch, right? Like, it's very easy to log on Facebook or YouTube or whatever and open a video, watch it for a while, and then close it. You forget to like it. You don't comment anything. It's very easy to do that. Very easy. That's why I'm also so terrible at asking you guys to leave a like or whatever. But I was very surprised in how many people this year told me, yeah, I love your content, man. I love your show. I love your channel. Blah, blah, blah. And I always feel like, me? What? Nah. You know? But yeah, I did get to take it in a little bit. When Josh and I were playing DDR on Saturday morning, that was a moment of it. When we got there Friday and we're just saying our hellos and stuff before the vendor hall really opened. We got to play some arcade games together. We got pretty far in Time Crisis already, and we were like, we better stop playing before we're just stuck here all day, you know?
Yeah.
Because we would have been doing, we probably would have beat that game, you know, had we just stayed there and continued to, I think, we committed the horrible crime of letting your characters die in an arcade game. You know, when you walk away from an arcade game and you're like, oh god, they're gonna die, no!
Yeah, but we didn't have to pay money, so that's why we did it.
Yeah, the free play arcade is better.
Yeah.
And I say we would have beat it because, number one, we're that good. And number two, we didn't really have to spend that many. We wouldn't have had to spend many coins or points or whatever. I don't know how arcades work nowadays. We wouldn't have had to reload our fun card.
Right.
Yeah, no problem, Elvis. Oh, and Elvis says, because you're doing a hell of a good job, brother. Keep up the good work. Oh, thank you, bro. And yeah, you know, so what about you, though? What about you? Did you get to stop and smell the roses?
Oh, yeah. See, that's the thing. Because,
oh, yeah.
Because he's basically the face of the podcast. Everybody talks to him. Everybody flocks to him. And I get the opportunity to go walk around and be like, hey, dude, by the way, we have this many vendors here and here.
Yeah.
And I get to walk around and be like, all right,
You're
have
fucking
this
feeding
here.
my ego. You're making me the IRL Johnny Cage, bro. Remember when we walked the show floor so I was Mario Saturday, went back to the hotel, shaved the mustache, came back, and I was all fucking, you know, bleached hair and shit or whatever. I told you, I was like, dude, I feel like Johnny Cage, and that's dangerous. Yeah, anyways, my hair looks a lot darker than it does in real life. This is actually pretty bright, and I had it all slicked back and stuff. You can see it on the socials. Follow me on Instagram at nerdynick_91 and on X at buffnerd.
Yeah, pretty much since everybody's flocking to him, I could go around and be like, hey, dude, we got a lot of vendors this year. You have plenty of chances to look for what you got to look for.
Anonymous Mystery says, kick his ass, Josh. Assert dominance.
You think I could kick his ass? Motherfuckers, my thighs are as, large as his fucking biceps and triceps.
You know, hold on. I can flex my bicep to show the actual bi in the bicep. Oh, right there. You can see the two heads right there. Do you see it? Right there. There's that line.
See what I mean?
I can show you the separation in my bicep from the actual, because your bicep is made of two. That's why it's called bi. Yeah. Anyways.
And it's crazy because, he makes me look small as shit. But,
you're
next to, the average dude, I mean, other than the fact that I'm chunky, I have regular, decent sized muscles. You know what I mean? For somebody who doesn't do shit. This motherfucker makes look tiny.
But yeah, you do manual labor, so
Yeah.
you're Mexican.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like, I do manual labor.
Yeah.
I got fucking decent sized muscles. At least, things that look normal.
Yeah.
Next to this guy, I look scrawny.
My forearm is like a fucking calf on somebody.
Right?
It's hard too, dude. Me and my friends, we used to just like bonk each other.
God damn.
Bop! It was when I was in wrestling. We would just go bop! So, give each other concussions, stuff like that. Fun stuff. I probably have CTE.
That explains a lot.
Mystically says, have you ever thought about going to any East Coast cons? Yes, I actually have. The only thing is, plane tickets cost a lot of money. And
I got a tinkle. But
go ahead. So, something I actually put out today on my social media was I'm looking for a booking. So it was my way of reaching out to just casting my net. I'm sure it probably won't reel anything in, but I am friends with several, I would say a handful at least, maybe a dozen showrunners on Facebook. And I know I said it last year, but this year I'm really going to make a concerted effort to try to expand the Nsquared podcast and try to get to as many conventions as possible. It's just extremely hard to do when it's on your own dime. I'm not, by any means in a glorious financial position. Yes, I do have my own home maintenance and improvement business, but it's not like I'm always rolling in the dough all the time. There are some weeks where I just don't even work, and there are other weeks where I make enough to where I don't have to work for a whole month after that. You know what I mean? So it's the life of independent contracting, man. But yes, I really do want to go to East Coast shows. As a matter of fact, I will be at Too Many Games in Philadelphia this year, but I will be there as a security specialist. I will be working the event. So I will be one of the heads of security at Too Many Games. So, I'll get to enjoy it because I won't be working like every single minute of every part of that convention. But I want to go to Really Rad Weekend. I want to go to the ones in Arkansas. I want to go to Retro Rick's convention. I want to go to all these. I myself have never been to the East Coast. Furthest east I've been is College Station, Texas, and that's it. So let me catch up with the chat here. Gordo says, from what I've heard is if you want to be a guest to attend a con, we have to email the con and show there is a demand for them to be there. A business write-off says anonymous mystery, and Rat Zombie says, bro, I really want to go to Rad Weekend. Yeah, so here's the thing, right? So I'm friends with both of the showrunners for Really Rad Weekend on Facebook, but I don't know them personally. Although we are friends on Facebook. So I'm hoping they kind of see that. I've also just been told, ask, and the worst thing they can say is no. So, it is what it is. How do I put it? I would feel bad asking someone straight up like, hey, would you invite me to your convention? Because I don't want to sound like I'm asking for like a freebie. You know what I mean? I would ask, but with giving something in return. Hey, would you like me at your convention? Here's why I think you should have me at your convention because of X, Y, and Z and so on and so forth. Here's the kind of panels that I put on. Here's what you can expect out of me. I will, for instance, I will be on your show floor 24/7 during that show. I will be entertaining all of your guests. I will be at every signing you need me at. I will be at every panel you need me at, so on and so forth, So yeah. hopefully, you know, the following gets large enough to where more shows start calling. Because honestly, dude, and we've said it before, like, that's the goal, to spread the Nsquared podcast and help it grow. If you guys love watching us, and you guys have been watching us for so long, you're a fan, you know, and you know how rad, how much you like it and stuff, and so why not spread it to more ears? Why not get it on more ears and eyes, you know? Exactly. I do not give a shit, and I'll say this too, just because it's kind of relevant. It's relevant to the topic. I don't give a shit if we get, like, huge and famous or whatever. I just want to meet more people. I want to see more sides of the country. I want to entertain more people. I want to hear other people's thoughts. Like, gaming is so much different in Arizona than it is in Florida.
Yeah.
Gaming is so much different in Arizona than it is in Seattle. Like, Seattle gets tons of Japanese imports. I don't see jack shit in Arizona. You know what I mean? And the games that are popular here might not have been popular over there, and so on and so forth. Mm-hmm. So, excuse me. Like, that is a huge part of it, you know? And the other huge part of it is just meeting people who follow us and watch us that are on the East Coast. We have a very heavy East Coast following on this channel and on this podcast. And I would love to meet you guys. I would love to have a panel in front of you guys and hear your voices and see your faces and have these conversations in real life. You know?
That would be fun as shit.
Our panel was packed. We had like 3/4 of that room filled.
Yeah.
And it was great. We had a panel on Saturday at 4 p.m. It was prime time. We went against Baldur's Gate 3, and we had a 3/4 full room. That was fucking awesome.
Yeah. That
was awesome. AJK says, hoping to go to too many games this year. Hope to see you. Yeah, I'll be there. Megavania fan says, where's the mustache? Mega, it was fake all along and he took it off. Yeah, no, I shaved it for the sake of cosplay. I cosplayed on Saturday at Game On Expo as Johnny Cage from the new Mortal Kombat 2 movie. That's also why the hair is colored. Dude, my hair looks so much like it's just so much darker on camera than it is in real life. It's the lighting. If you put the light like right on my fucking head, you'd be like, whoa, that's fucking, yeah. Anyways, so yeah, Friday. I'm gonna go ahead and tell the story about Friday afternoon.
Go for it.
Gordo says we didn't want to talk about bear sacks.
Coitus.
Yeah. Intercourse. So we came to your panel. Well, dude, I mean, I'm glad you guys stumbled upon our panel just by luck. While I start talking about the story, could you grab me that can over there? The blue one?
What the fuck can we... Oh.
The dip? Yeah. So Friday, we're just cruising around, you know, we got to the show early, made good time on that. We even got our hotel room, it was ready like hours and hours and hours. God damn it, you threw it at my fucking shoulder. Dumbass. Our hotel room was like early, ready early and stuff, so everything was just fucking great. We're cruising around the floor, saying hi to everyone, saying hi to old friends, new, you know, and whatnot. And I was introducing Josh to some newer people that he hadn't met yet. And we get to the Retroware booth, which is, you know, where AVGN and Rex Viper and all them were supposed to be. They hadn't all gotten in yet. They were still kind of flying in. Long story short, and I can't tell too much detail about it, but what I can say is I hung out with James Rolfe and Rex Viper, you know, his band. I helped film their music video. When it's out, you'll know which one it is, because I'll be sharing it all over. Yeah, James Rolfe literally handed me the camera, and said, this is the idea I have. And then what was really rad is he let me be the director. I got to tell them my ideas, and they did the ideas. It was fucking cool. It was a once in a lifetime opportunity. I got to sit down and have lunch with them, and the lead singer from Super Monster Party as well was there. I got to know all of the members from Rex Viper. I knew Adam, aka Square Painter, for a long time. We followed each other on X for a long time. We finally got to meet in person, which was awesome. Brad, the drummer from the band, I got to know him pretty well as well. Just all around, all the dudes were really great. All of them were super nice, super friendly, super welcoming. And this was the second time I had hung out with James. First time was at SoCal in like 2019. It was, yeah. I showed him pictures of that night, and we were kind of reliving that. It was fun. We drank beer out of a glass boot at a bar at SoCal and all that stuff. But yeah, no, I got to film a Rex Viper music video. Just me. Fucking cool. Fucking cool, man. Something that I'll never forget. And the next day, you know, we went to their booth, and James had a line out the fucking wazoo because he was doing a signing, and at the booth, and Josh was with me. I got behind the booth because they had asked me, you know, or told me like, yeah, dude, take a picture, we'll do whatever you want, you know, hang out. And even when someone at a convention tells me like, oh yeah, dude, come on over, I always ask, are you sure? I don't want to interrupt anything. Are you sure you want me at your booth right now? Like in the background? Like, people aren't at your booth to see me and you. They're here to see you. So if you're, let me go away if you need to do something. Yeah, I took several pictures with the guys, chatted a bit more, and then chatted with them again on Sunday. We would just run into each other and just have fun and stuff, and good conversations. I just want to say thank you to James Rolfe and the guys in Rex Viper for having me tag along, trusting me with handling the camera and directing, and just treating me as one of their own and an equal. Because here's the deal, and I've said this before and I'll say it again. There are some bigger YouTubers out there who might put on a face on social media and in their videos, but in real person, they're absolute assholes.
You've met a few of them.
I've met a few of them, and none of these guys were those kind of guys. None of them. Not the singer, not James, not anyone. And it was just an incredible experience I'll never fucking forget. Never. You know, like, it was just fucking cool. 15-year-old me would not believe it. That's when I started watching James, I think on GameTrailers.com. It's like before YouTube. Maybe I was 14 even. But yeah, it was absolutely fucking amazing. Yeah, it was pretty cool. Rat Zombie says, is Baldur's Gate 3 really that good? Last year the voice actors were swamped by nerds. So yeah, Rat Zombie, dude, I think what it is people just, they kind of get wrapped in the fantasy of it and grow a pseudo companionship through it, right? Is that what you would think?
I mean,
I would kind of think that.
That's pretty close, because like,
think that.
The thing is, like, that's pretty close, because if they're doing a good enough job, that will happen. The way you explained it. A pseudo companionship. And if they're doing a good enough job, that means they're doing good. So, the only thing I can say is, I've never played it, but I know a few people that have, and they fucking love Baldur's Gate 3. So,
yeah.
And they're not hardcore gamers, the ones that I know.
Well, and see, I don't think you got to be a hardcore gamer to get into an RPG.
Oh yeah, no,
Because
very,
I think a lot of
very true.
RPGs are very much like a fucking TV show in a game.
Yeah.
You know, I think someone who has a first experience playing Baldur's Gate 3, like as a first-time gamer, would have a much better time playing that than Helldivers 2. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Gordo says, do you have a favorite game store in Tucson you recommend? Don't give up your honey holder. Honestly, Tucson's kind of fucking kind of dry with gaming stores.
Yeah.
There is Everchange on Broadway, on the far east side of town, and then there's Bookman's, which is like a used books, video games, and movies kind of store. There's a couple of locations of those in Tucson and in Phoenix. Other than that, dude, you just got GameStop. I really do think that's it.
Pretty much.
Yeah,
There's not much at all.
I don't think there are any more. I think that is it.
Yeah.
Which is why I say, like, I would love to be a guest at other conventions in other cities. Because on the off hours of the convention, I can go to other game stores and see what that shit's like.
Right?
You know? But yeah, what did we do Friday night? We just went downstairs to the hotel bar, hung out with Jeff Boer and David Boer from Collector Protector.
Great guys. Great
very
guys.
good guys. David Boer is also the author and creator of the Kanto comic book and several others. He writes on the Ghost Rider comic book. Not Ghost Rider, I'm sorry, Ghostbusters comic book and several others. They've been good friends of mine. I've known them for 7 years now. So yeah, we did that. And then I think the guys from RetroWare were downstairs as well. Like Justin Silverman and the band, some of the band members from Rex Viper. And then Saturday was just fucking awesome. Saturday was like go go go. Saturday was our panel day. So part of the day on Saturday, we were plastering these flyers that I had printed at Office Max or Office Depot, whatever, and we were just putting them all over the venue, in the bathrooms, on pillars, on walls, you know.
Which motherfucker? You never told me how much it was, so I could send you fucking money for that shit.
Oh, I think it was like 40. It was like 40 something bucks.
All right, I'll send you
Just
some
send me
later.
like 22
Yeah.
bucks or whatever.
Yeah, because I don't want you to be shouldering all that shit by yourself.
Yeah.
I know you put most of the work in, but financially, I want to help out.
Oh,
Because I'm not,
thanks, man.
but creatively speaking, I'm not as good as you, so that's why.
Well, you know, we all can't be winners. So
I'm
yeah, Saturday
better
was
looking.
it was really fun, man. And
I'm
Saturday
better
I
looking.
we started to buy stuff.
Yeah. I mean, you still barely had a chance to buy anything on Saturday.
Yeah, barely. Dude, and here's the fucking thing, man, is this 3-day convention, even though it sounds like, oh dude, 3 days, hell yeah, that's a lot of time, dude. It goes by like that, man. It goes by like that.
Honestly, as a guest, you have less time to work with than a convention goer.
Yeah.
Because as a guest, you have the panels, you have people that you gotta go talk to, you have people coming up to you
Thank you,
specifically.
Anonymous.
Excuse me. Sorry. Yeah, you have people specifically going up to you, you know, saying hi, asking for pictures and all that shit. You know, so you have less time to actually enjoy the con.
Yeah.
You know, and there's nothing bad about that. You know.
No, as
'Cause
a matter of fact,
as-
I will say this: when people stop me to take pictures with me, to stop me to talk with me about games or an episode of a video I made or whatever, I fucking stop dead in my tracks and look at them with a giant fucking smile, because I feel important and I feel like I've made a connection and like I've made someone smile. If you guys are familiar with the long form videos that I put out, like, you know, the collection videos or the game room tour or this or that, you see the little jokes that I throw in there. You see the little cutaways that I throw in there. I do that because not to stand out or be different, but just because I want my viewers who are watching the content that I make and edit, you know, it takes me like 16 hours on average to edit a 12-minute video. I do that just to put a smile on your guys' faces. Like my Summer Nick character on the Summer Vibes video, I embarrass myself like that just to make you guys laugh, just to make you guys smile. So when someone stops me while I'm in the middle of something, I turn around with zero fucking attitude and I am elated and excited to speak to them, to take that picture with them. When someone stops me and says, "Oh my gosh, can I take a picture with you?" What is my reaction?
Yeah. Like super
Yeah.
fucking like.
Yeah.
I can't even reenact it because.
And if I'm carrying stuff, I'll say, "Here, Josh, hold this real fast."
Yeah.
And then I take the picture with them.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I say thank you. They'll say thank you, and I go, "No, thank you."
Yep.
Yeah. So Saturday is normally the busiest day of the convention, and that's when most of the time that happens. So it does slow us down as far as walking around and checking out the floor or whatever and buying stuff. But again, we're guests. We're not invited to be a guest to shop.
Yeah.
We're invited to be a guest to entertain and to meet our viewers, our fans, our followers, whatever. Oh, hold on. Asian Pizza Boy 21 says, "Had fun at Game On. Best event I went to." Hell yeah, dude. I am so happy to hear that. I have no stake in Game On whatsoever, but I will do anything for that convention. John Lester, the guy who runs the show, Gamester 81, John Lester, he is the first guy who ever took a chance on me as a content creator to invite me to a show. And I have been a guest at 7 out of the 10 of them. He is amazing and just a great guy and deserves all the praise and credit, along with, the team that he has cultivated to help him run this show. But this year just felt so significant, being the 10-year anniversary,
He fucking nailed it this year. I can tell you that.
Ando Gamer says, Saturdays at Game On Expo are the best though. So many people. I did see your flyer. Oh, hell yeah, dude. That's awesome. Even Smash JT was like, "Dude, I was in the bathroom and I looked up and I saw your flyer." And I was like, "Hey, I know those guys." Rat Zombie says, "Left my ass off. I would have put in work. That sounds like fun." And then Anonymous Mystery says, "The nostalgia video is the best in my opinion. It's genuine and I hope your son appreciates it when the time comes." I really do too. I loved that video. Was a passion project of mine.
Oh, definitely.
And I did get sad to see that it really didn't get that many views at all, because I really did feel like it would speak to anyone around our age, which is a fuck ton of people. And yeah, it just didn't get the attention I wanted it to get, because I really made that video to connect with people, which is why it had me sitting down talking to the camera, for a majority of it, or talking to the camera but with imagery, over me, and it was more of voiceover. I love that video, and I don't know, maybe it'll get a second wind in the future or whatever, and someone will discover it and the YouTube algorithm will decide to work and push it. Man, the YouTube algorithm sucks. AJK says, "You have any run-ins with the Game Chasers?" Actually, as a matter of fact, yes I do. There was one night at a convention where I stayed up till 3 in the morning getting drunk with Jay from the Game Chasers in the hotel bar / lobby. I helped produce their movie. I was their, how do you call it? Set construction consultant for the movie. I hung out with them at SoCal as well. We went bar hopping that night. That was crazy. That was a crazy night. But yeah, no, the Game Chasers were pretty solid. I haven't seen them in a few years though. We still follow each other and stuff, and are friends and all that. But haven't really seen them at events. I don't really think they go to events anymore, really. Rat Zombie says, such a good crew. They always try to do what is best for the guests. Claire is an amazing moderator also. Yeah, she's actually really involved now with the convention, and she's doing a really good job. Mini Mario, Britt says, Mini Mario is going to sleep, but he had a ton of fun at the con. Gordo says, post it here and we'll all click and watch after the live, of course. Hey Snark, would you mind doing that? Would you mind pasting the link to the nostalgia video in the chat? And AJK says nice. And then what did we do Saturday night? Saturday night we went to dinner with Radical Reggie, Smash AT, Elvis, and a whole lot of people.
Yeah.
And dude, that was a really good time.
Oh yeah.
That was a really, really good time.
We had some insider scoops on Smash's situation, which
Snark,
we can't
it's
say.
the nostalgia video. So the thumbnail is the double face, where it's like half of my face is my 5-year-old face, and the other half is me, with my with me now. Well, minus. I mean, I had a mustache in the picture.
Which, yeah, we had some insider scoops, which there's not much we can say. If you want to hear it, go to Smash's page and listen to what he has to say about the whole situation that he has. With the lawsuit.
Oh, well, I mean, yo, we got Mort's Garage in the house. Mort, what's going on, dude?
Yo.
And keep an eye out, because I believe, I don't know exactly what video we're going to be in, but we did shoot some stuff for Mort, which was really fun. And I'm very happy that Mort asked us to partake. Mort's a great guy. I actually felt like Friday was just almost a blur, because every convention that you go to, the first day is just like boom, 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 boom. You see this person, big highs, big hellos. You see this person, big highs, big hellos. Like, I think when we ran into Gabo and the Pixel Game Squad, it was big hug, big hug, big hug. It's kind of like Nacho Libre. Big hug, big keys, little keys, big hug. Like that. And then it's on to the next people. And then it's all like that. But it was like such a genuine pleasure. And guys, if you aren't subbed to Mort or haven't heard of him before, what are you doing, first of all? And second of all, go to his channel and give him a sub. He is such a genuine, salt of the earth kind of guy. I'm so happy that we got to connect with him this year. He is just a great dude all around. Super, super nice, super humble, and just an integral part of the SoCal gaming scene, in my opinion. Really great guy, and glad that he's here watching the show. Maybe we'll have him on one day. Who knows? Little wink there. Oh, no worries, Snark. You're all good, dude. Thank you for continuing to moderate, because you are on the East Coast, and we want to say to our East Coast viewers, thank you for sticking around. We know it is a 3-hour time difference. And guys, if you're new here, please leave a sub, and please leave a like. Even if you're not new here and you forgot, to give us a like, just give that thumbs up. You're here every Monday. What are you doing? Saturday, yeah, is just such a busy day at a convention. You're trying to get deals. You're trying to get footage. You are trying to go to some panels even, because we like to support our own, and we like to hear other people's insights. We're a smaller channel, and of course we want to go listen to what Metal Jesus Rocks and the crew has to say about collecting or this or that. We want to know what like what it is like on other parts of the country, because that's the beauty of a convention, is having all these guests from different parts of the country all come together. You get to hear their experiences of what it's like to collect in Southern California, in Northern Washington, in New York, and so on and so forth, even in Florida. So, you know, of course you want to hear the insight, you want to support your fellow creators and stuff. So we did attend some panels on Saturday as well as Sunday. We did have our panel on Saturday. Anything you want to add about our panel that we didn't already talk about?
I mean, all I can say is that it was fucking fun. I wish we could have more of that kind of panel.
Yeah.
In the future. Like, if they continue to invite us, I wish they continue to be that kind of panel.
Yeah, our panel, after our panel was done and over with, I just felt so, and I've said this word already, but elated. I was overjoyed, and it sounds corny, but you know that phrase when people say, my heart was full? My heart was full. It was so great to see everyone have a great time. You know, my biggest thing is I love to be an entertainer. I love to entertain people. And to see smiles on people's faces when I would say a corny joke, when I would say something controversial, and everyone would get all riled up or whatever, you know, it was great. And I loved that experience. And I mean, I remember our very first panel when I was like singing the praises of Twisted Metal 3 and 4. And everyone else was like, boo! You know, I love all of that shit, dude. It's so much fun. And to take pictures with people afterwards, and the giveaways too, man. Big shout out to Retro Fighters for sponsoring our panel and giving us 2 Pro Series, the GameCube controllers to give away. Dude, the next day, when I think his name is like Sasquatch something or another, his screen name on YouTube.
Yeah.
When he had told us after the con, he went home, put the controller on his counter, and he had said he just looked at it and almost got teary-eyed because he couldn't believe that he had won it. Like, that made me so happy that we were able to do that for him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, that's what it's all about, man. And that's why I like to do giveaways at our panels when we can. I understand it's not realistic all the time, but when we can, and dude, like, I will chip in my own money to buy items for giveaways and stuff. It doesn't have to be a sponsored giveaway or whatever, but to see those 2 guys who won the controllers and the soap, you know, other people who won the soaps and stuff, they were like so happy.
Yeah.
And I just want to give back to the community. That's my way of giving back. You know, some people will be like, well, you make videos, that's giving back, right? No, like, no. I make videos for me. I make videos that I want to watch. You know, and you guys just happen to like them and you happen to watch them. But hearing that dude say, do that, like, I almost cried looking at my controller on the counter. I was like, hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah. Anonymous. Oh, hold on. Gordo says, Mort is great. Love his intros. Mr. Rogers is my favorite. Rat Zombie says it looked like a blast. And Rat Zombie and anyone else, if you haven't watched it, it's recorded, so you can definitely see it on the channel. It's under the live tab. Oops, I unplugged our headphones. There we go. Now I can hear myself.
Dumbass.
But yeah, you can definitely check out our stream. I heavily recommend it. Non-biased. Non-biased whatsoever. It's just one of the best panels you will ever listen to. Non-biased. Mystically says, oh, I'm sorry, Anonymous Mystery says, when's the next karaoke stream? I don't know.
The next one, you're doing that shit solo. I can't do that shit no more.
No
my
more.
Heart,
no more. You did it once. We did one
my,
karaoke stream.
My heart can't fucking handle that shit.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. I definitely want to do it again, though. It was really fun. It was really fun. I had a really good time with it.
I mean, as much as I hated it, yeah, no, it was fun.
No, it was fun. It was fun. It was a really good time. And then Gordo says, those were amazing prizes. Thanks, man. And then Mystically says, did you guys get some sweet pickups? Well, I for sure did.
I got some cool stuff too, but I forgot to take pictures of that shit. I was like asleep half the day. So we gotta do like a video of, you know, our pickups at some point, because I know you're gonna go over it.
Yeah. And then I'll show you guys my pickups, and I'll also do a pickups video as well to go like more in depth.
Yeah.
Tonight we'll just be like, hey, look what I got, and then I'll do a pickups video, Metal Jesus Rock style. Real fast, I want to get to AJK. They say, getting late here. Want to tell you, Nick, was at AEW Dynasty last night, bro.
What?
Nice. That Young Bucks finish. Oh boy. Take care, guys, and congrats on the success. Well deserved. Thank you. Thank you. And it was great to see you back on the stream. Hopefully we get to see you again next week, bro. And yeah, that Young Bucks finish. I'll tell you about it later.
Oh, did you end up watching it?
No, I didn't. I didn't order the pay-per-view because by the time we got home, the pay-per-view was like already halfway over.
Oh, I thought you like might have watched like a clip of it or something.
Well, I did watch a clip of it,
Okay.
and then caught the ups and downs of it on What Culture Wrestling, but yeah,
Okay.
it's wonky.
All right. That's for later.
And then Rat Zombie says, "Oh, I watched it. Haha, had to get a taste of the con." Well, let's go ahead and start doing the pickups.
Dude, you had so much shit.
I had so much shit bought. It is incredible. Yeah, it's all that stuff. I know. That's why I said I actually kind of spent more money than I realized. Also, too, on Sunday was a really good day. It was like my greatest fear had been realized in the fact that the day just went by so fast. Sundays, you always hope go a little bit slower just so you can really soak it all in, and just take it all in. You know, if you're a content creator like me, again, not to like play my own violin here, but you don't get to go to that many conventions. So for me, Sundays are like my last chance to get moments in with people that I love, and fucking Josh here just dropping shit. Well, you don't have to grab everything in one go. Just a little stack is fine. One stack at a time. But anyway, Sundays are like the times where you're just like, gotta get in whatever I can while I can. And you know, we went to a couple more panels. Don't knock the lights over. Got a lot more shopping in. Got a lot of good buys in, but not as many as I would have liked. Filmed more content. You know, it was a really great day, but it just went by so fast. And of course, Sundays close a little bit earlier than Friday and Saturday do. So it was a little. Sundays are always bittersweet. They're bittersweet, and you know, if I were to go to more shows, if I were to be invited to more shows, the Sundays probably wouldn't hit as hard. But I definitely do get a little sad that, you know, this is gonna be the last time I'll see some of these people for quite some time, maybe even a year or so. But Sundays are they are a great day to get deals. I will say that, because you know, of course, vendors don't want to haul everything back, so they're willing to, you know, sometimes cut you an even better deal than they would have on Fridays and stuff, which is totally understandable because I've been a part of helping pack up a booth, unloading a booth and packing it up for Collector Protector, and dude, it's not fun. so yeah, cutting deals and selling lots and stuff is the way to go if you're a vendor on a Sunday. All right, but yeah, you can see this pile of stuff right here. So actually, we have a little giveaway to do as well tonight. So please don't go anywhere. I've got some items here to give away. There is a business card I need. I don't know where I put it. God dang it. I'll have Josh get on the hunt for that. when he gets back. But I'll go ahead and start with this sweet t-shirt, because we always talk about Baja Blast on the show. I saw this shirt, and Josh is actually wearing his too, because he ended up getting one as well. Baja Blastoise. I freaking saw this shirt and was like, yes! They also had it in like a Baja Blast turquoise, but I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna get the black. I don't know what turquoise would look on me. I've never owned anything turquoise, so I got the black one, and I love it. I love it. As Red Zombie says, did someone say Baja Blast? And you know what? We committed a cardinal sin. We did not go to the Taco Bell Cantina at all this weekend. Probably should have. Probably would have spent way less money on food if we just went there every night. Dude, I spent well over like $250 just on food and drinks this year. It sucks. Food is so expensive downtown in Phoenix. And then I'm going to look up the account here because they have sorry, I can't speak right now. They had given me some really rad free prints. This is from Retro Heat. So I got these really cool prints of Super Mario World, but they are obviously redesigns. Some little devils there. Another one here of a different kind. And then if you're a fan of Ninja Gaiden, you'll love this one. I'm gonna get this one framed and put up in the game room here. I love this one. This one's rad. So I got these. Here, you can go ahead and lay those. Just lay them on the stool. Or not the stool, the ottoman. There should be a business card from that one, the vendor that was Sunday that had stopped me while I was filming to give me the stuff to give away. There should be a business card somewhere. Okay, so it's gonna be around here somewhere. It's 86. It might be. Yeah. Okay, so we'll keep that handy for the giveaway. The Baja Blast shirt. That was nerd. Right here. I have it right here. Mega Nerd. Here, I'll throw it's if you could go to the website meganerdgames.com, or there's a QR code you can scan here. I'll hold it up for a few seconds. Let my camera focus. Tiny focus.
I'm gonna need to take a picture of that too, because I love their shirts.
There we go. I'll hold this up for a few seconds. That is meganerdgames.com, or you can scan the QR code. A few designs of their shirts right here. Oh, come on. There we go. They had a really cool Pikachu one that was a Pizza Hut shirt, and it said Pika Hut, and it had like Pikachu on it as well. Dude, it was great. It was great.
They have a lot of cool.
Rat Zombie says, got it. Thanks, brother. I'm ordering one. Dude, they're welcome. I got this from Retroware. It was a gift from the guys over at Retroware. This is brand new. It was debuted at Game On Expo. This is the Angry Video Game Nerd Power Glove. The Nerd Glove, but with the middle finger. It's a foam finger with the middle finger. Like, how great is this, right? Shout out to Justin over at Retroware and all the guys at Retroware. Fucking love it, dude. The foam finger is brilliant. Next up, I had to get myself a copy of this brilliant game. It's a great shmup and platformer. This is FX Unit Yuki on Dreamcast. There's various versions on several different consoles. I really wanted the Genesis one, but it had sold out. This is from Saruman. Saruraruma. I think that's how you say it, right? We just call him Saru. So I got a brand new copy of FX Unit Yuki, and he also gifted me a really cool translucent Sonic the Hedgehog keychain. So, give you that. So it was a while ago that I had showed off in pickups during one stream. I had gotten, thank you Ando, Sarumaru. There we go. Sarumaru. Get it right, you fucking idiot. I had picked up just about a brand new Nintendo DSi, and I have no games for it. So I decided to pick up Diddy Kong Racing DS. CIB, and Bangayo Spirits, which is like a bullet hell shmup game. Very excited to try these out. On the PSP, or PSP, because of course I'm still on my PSP kick. Remember last game on, I was like, I just want PSP games.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this year I actually saw, because there were more game vendors, I saw more PSP.
More games?
Yeah, oh, this isn't PSP, but it's almost the same size.
Dumas.
We'll keep that there. Yeah, I got Darkstalkers Chronicle, The Chaos Tower. If you're a fan of fighting games, you know, Capcom, this is a great fighting game series that doesn't get as much love as it's deserved. If you're a horror fan too, you know, you'll love the character designs in Darkstalkers. I also got MOC, which is abbreviated for Modified Air Combat Heroes. Really cool air combat game where your vehicle transforms into various other vehicles. I don't know what to say about that. And then I also got X-Men Origins Wolverine. It looks pretty similar to the Xbox 360 and PS3 version, so I was very excited about that. The only good thing to come out of X-Men Origins Wolverine were the games. And I know you guys have seen us stream this game because we were given a review copy of it, but I had to have it physically. This is Iron Meat. A very, very awesome call back to Contra. A ridiculously gory and over-the-top run-and-gun game. Yo, we got Zombie JLT 1 in the house! One of the OG mods. Hell yeah, dude. And he was at Game On and we didn't even get to see him, dude.
Damn, that sucks.
I know, it's been forever.
Right?
Ando says, I used to own that Darkstalkers PSP game. And he says, I miss my PSP. Great games on there. Rat Zombie says PSP is cool to collect for because the prices aren't too insane unless it's like Persona or games from Atlas. Yeah, agreed. I did pick up a VHS. There was that one other booth that had a ton that I never got to go back to.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I did pick up Akira on VHS. And they included the little plastic clamshell for it too. Not clamshell, but slipcase? I don't know what you would call it. So I got Akira on VHS now. I saw you guys though. Oh, you saw? Damn, you should have said hi.
Right?
Alright, so this is just going to be kind of a crapshoot of a bunch of games here now. I got R-Type Final on here. I love side-scrolling shooters. I have not had this ever before, so I'm very excited to play it. I love the R-Type games. R-Type's great. It started back like, I think on the Super Nintendo, so solid as fuck pickups so far. Thanks, Rat Zombie. And then Zombie JLT1 says, Josh might not have heard me in the vendor room and lobby, but it's cool everyone was doing something. Oh,
what?
Maybe they tried to fucking say hi.
Maybe. Dude, it was so much going on over the weekend.
Yeah.
Dude, you should have just came up to us and just like, hey, it's me.
Yeah. Mystically says R-Type Final is great. And then I also picked up Mortal Kombat Deception because I realized I don't have this in my collection. I got Marvel Ultimate Alliance on the Xbox 360. These are great fucking games. I love the Ultimate Alliance games. They are like dungeon crawler-esque, just ridiculous fun. You have all the characters from all the Marvel properties in them. It's just so much fun. Like on your team, you could have Iron Man, The Thing, and Ghost Rider, dude. Just like random group of friends. This one, this is an obscure game. I am a sucker for vehicular combat games. That's why I love Twisted Metal and Vigilante 8, games like that. While this one might not be the greatest, I definitely had to have it as a pro wrestling fan. WWE Crush Hour. So, I can't wait to play this. I've never played it. I've always seen it. And, this is gonna be something, I tell you what. I finally picked up Oni. I have wanted this game for so long, and this was back when Rockstar was doing stuff other than just being a GTA and Red Dead machine. It's just like, dude, you look at the cover already, right? It's got that, you know, that foil shine to it, like a very nice Pokemon card. It's got that classic 90s anime look to it. It's a run and gun shooter. It says a dark future, an uncertain past, no one left to trust. I'm very excited to play this. I have wanted to play this for a long time. Rockstar and Bungie.
What?
Rockstar and Bungie. Right on the bottom there.
No fucking way.
Yep. Come on, tiny focus. There we go. Bungie. That's interesting, dude. That's exciting. I'm excited for that. And then, of course, you know, keeping it with that superhero kick, I got Wolverine's Revenge. Because I realized I didn't have this, and I thought I did. I love this game. It has nothing really to do with X-Men 2. But they threw the X-Men title on there because this game came out around the same time the X-Men 2 movie did. This is a great cel-shaded, I would say, hack and slash, but also stealth game. Something interesting that we had learned watching a video about the game a while ago was Mark Hamill actually does the voice of Wolverine in this game.
Yeah.
Which I'm not necessarily a fan of, but
yeah,
I did play
it does
this.
not fit.
I was telling Josh, I had rented this game when it came out, and I fucking loved the game, and I didn't even think it was that hard, but apparently people think this is a very hard game. Catching up with the chat here, Zombie says, I'm limping more nowadays, but I'm still a big hulking man thing roaming the con. Glad you all had a good time in panel. Agreed, Ultimate Alliance is a good one for sure. Next up, we got, on the GameCube, Army Men Sarge's War. I never owned this game before. And, of course, it continues the lineage of the Army Men games with Sarge's Heroes and whatnot. Looks just like a really fun, all-around good time. I love Sarge's Heroes, so I'm excited to try Sarge's War. Then next up, we got a good addition here of Mortal Kombat Deadly Alliance on the PS2. The actual case itself feels new. And it's got the manual. Of course, you know, the manual still has the, what do you call it? The register of this game, card on it.
Yeah.
But it all feels so slick. Like, give that a feel. Rub your hand on that. That feels brand new, doesn't it?
No, it really does.
Yeah. Just throw it right there. And then I picked up Resident Evil Revelations. I was trying to look for the second one. I couldn't find it anywhere, but I did pick up the first one. I never played Revelations 1 or 2 because for a long time they were just locked on the 3DS. And by the time these came out, I was kind of like over wanting to play them. And I know they're not mainline necessarily, so I was like, whatever, I'll play them when I get around to it. So I got Resident Evil Revelations. I'm gonna do this one last.
Of course.
Yeah. This is one of those games where you see it all the time at places and it's like not very expensive at all. And it like looks okay, but you're like, maybe I'll get it another time. This is Extermination. So this looks like a really cool survival horror game that really reminds me of The Thing. John Carpenter's The Thing. So it says, welcome to the endangered species list. You're under the orders to uncover the cause of a distress signal emanating from a secret military base in Antarctica. Once there, you find the base contaminated by a virus that ferociously infected and mutated every living and non-living thing in sight. And you're next. So it definitely gives off the Thing vibes, for sure. So there's the back cover of that. Then I picked up Chaos Legion. This is also by Capcom. The other game wasn't by Capcom, but this is another Capcom game. Kind of in the vein of like the modern 3D Castlevania games, you know, very flashy combat style, almost reminiscent of Devil May Cry. Anonymous Mystery says circles back to Kurt Russell. Yeah, the Thing. And John Carpenter, as a matter of fact. So I picked this up for a pretty good deal as well.
You want to leave that one?
Yeah, no, I'll do this one now. So, Ghost Hunter. I have been looking for this game for the last 10 years. And I'm not someone who goes out on eBay and buys a game or online, really, necessarily. I like to find my games out in the wild. And when I saw this, I picked this up and I looked at Josh and I was like, oh my god! And I had to have it. I asked him how much for it, and this is actually, I bought this from, he was in the chat earlier, as a matter of fact. Where is he? E. Parker. So shout out to E. Parker. Ghost Hunter. So excited that I finally own this in my collection. You are literally a dude hunting ghosts. But this is very much a survival horror type game. Very underrated. Sony developed the game, but Namco published it, which is interesting. I'm so happy to finally have this, and I got this at a really good price. I can't tell you how excited I am to own this game. Serious. Whoa. Okay, Tiny. He just like zoomed in by himself. But yeah, this is.
Tiny felt your intentions.
Yeah, my intensity. We got some goodies from. Oh shit! We got some goodies from Smashed AT, like a battery pack, so like you could charge your phone or whatever electronics. And then he gave us a koozie as well. Good old Smashed AT. Also, peep the Smashed AT mug in the background. He gave me that, I want to say like 2 years ago now. There.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Got some cool FX Unit Yuki stickers. Got a couple of those from Saru. And then I got these really cool Sergio and the Hologram stickers from Sergio, who is the man behind a lot of video game music and the musical act Sergio and the Holograms. This, an amazing pickup. This is a Lara Croft Tomb Raider lunchbox from the titular film from, I want to say 2000 is when it came out? 2001?
I think it was, yeah.
2001. And this has never been opened. Never been opened.
Open it. Open it.
I'm going to open it on the pickups video.
Alright.
Because there's definitely stuff inside.
That's fair. That's fair.
But dude, oh my gosh, I love Tomb Raider, and I love that movie. So when I saw that, I was like, how much? Okay, hold it for me. I will be back, and I will buy this.
You like the triangular titties?
Dude, I didn't even bother to ask how, like to barter. I was like, just hold it. I'm gonna buy it. I got my Mortal Kombat 1 and 2 autographed by Liz, who was the original Sonya I'm still, working on getting this game completed for signing. I think I just need Rich, who was Kano, and I think that'll be it. This one will be totally signed, completed by all the cast.
Nice.
And then on this one, I got Tony Marquez to sign this. He was the original Kung Lao. So on this, I think I still need Rich, and I need Philip on. He was Shang Tsung, like the younger version.
Yeah.
And John, who was Jax. So I need 3 more to go on this one, and it'll be totally completed with signing. Got some really cool OG pins from The Simpsons. They just, silly little pins. I got some cool pins from, from Collector Vision. What was his name? Oh my goodness. He was right behind Saru. And I was playing his new shooter, shoot 'em up. Remember, it's going to be an arcade only for 1 year in Japan, and then it will come out on consoles in about a year.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I got these really cool. You guys will have to check this game out. It's called Jam and Jelly. It's a really fun, cute, cute 'em up, I would say. I would really hope my camera would focus on this right now. But yeah, I got some pins, and then I got a new flyer for one of Saru's new games called Ninja. Oh, that doesn't have anything on the other side. Fun. And then to round it out, good old Collector Protector. Hooked it up in the house. So we've got Nintendo 64 loose cartridge protectors. We got single CD jewel cases. So this fits around like your PS1 games. And then I got some boxed N64 protectors as well. And guys, look at, like, I live in a very dry climate, so I don't necessarily have to worry about moisture and stuff like that creeping into the cartridges and whatnot. But guess what is inevitable? Dust. Games falling over, falling off your bookshelf, falling off, the desk or whatever. These collector protectors are the real deal. I can't tell you how many times I've had games fall off the game shelf because it's overpopulated and, things just fall, or I'm holding my son and he reaches out onto one of the shelves behind and just like pulls one of the games down. Mm-hmm. Those collector protector cases stop any damage from happening to the game carts themselves, the boxes themselves, or anything like that. So it's like a really nice insurance policy, for your games. It's a proactive insurance policy is what I'll say for those. Dude, Collector Protector, shout out to Jeff Boer for that. He was the very first company to ever take a chance on me as a content creator, to establish a working relationship, and then ultimately a friendship. So Collector Protector, Collector Protector, Collector Protector. Now we do have some giveaway stuff here. This was supplied to us from 86th. So visit www.86th.com, and that is spelt 86th. SIXED.com. Let me see. Do we have any Guilty Gear fans in the house? I want to see ya put a hand up emoji if you like Guilty Gear. The fighting franchise that's been around for forever, that's known for its beautiful artwork and character design. Who here is a fan of Guilty Gear? Let me see them hands. Oh, dude, I've been talking so much. Oh, Game On Expo mentioned us in their story.
Aww.
Oh, sick. They shared. Oh. they shared my story for our stream tonight, our show tonight.
Fuck yeah.
Check that out. Well, the screen's fucking super bright, but they shared my story. That's awesome.
Zombie JLT has the hands emoji. And Sark says, I admit I'm in the FGC guy. I admit I'm an FGC guy, but didn't really get into Guilty Gear.
Mystically says solid pickups. Damn it, this little notification came up. Big win on the Ghost Hunter. Got to get to bed. See everyone next week. Mystically, thank you so much for watching us, dude. Appreciate it. And guys, go check out Mysticles' Xbox 360 video where your homeboy here talks about Halo 3. Excuse me. Fighting game community is FGC.
Ah, okay.
So, Zombie, guess what? You just won yourself 2 sticker sheets from 86. These are a bunch of Guilty Gear stickers, bro. Congratulations! And these are from Guilty Gear Strive. So shoot me your address in the DMs, bro. I would have had my hand up if I had. Elvis, you sore loser, bro. You sore loser. Elvis says, I would have had my hand up if I had won that controller.
Oh my god.
Oh my goodness. So yeah, Zombie, go ahead and DM me your address and I will mail these out to you, as well as some Nsquared podcast stickers. All thanks to 86th.com. Fuck yeah. That was awesome. Yeah, so I was walking around streaming, or not streaming, but filming content yesterday, and the guy running the booth at 86th had stopped me and was just like, are you streaming right now? We'll do a giveaway. Let's do a giveaway.
Right?
And stuff. And we developed a very fast business relationship, business card and all. So we'll see what, I'm going to contact them and see what's good.
Yeah, because the guy said that he used to be a content creator as well. Mm-hmm. And, shit happened, but he pretty much wants to help other content creators expand as well.
Yeah.
So that's very nice of him.
Yeah. Very rad.
Yeah.
Very rad.
Yeah.
So, are you good? You're solid? Okay, we got some Switch 2 to talk about. Hold on. Game On Expo. Once again, thank you to Game On Expo for having us out as guests. Dude, it was just an absolute blast. Absolute great time. All the credit and shout out to John Lester and his team over at Game On Expo for running this mad, crazy event. I mean, dudes like Don Bluth, Tony Hawk, the original voice cast from TMNT,
right.
Sam Witwer from all Star Wars things, and so much more stuff. We got Josh X05 in the house saying greetings. Yo, what's up, dude? How you doing, man?
What's
You
up?
having a good Monday night? So Game On Expo, dude, just thank you guys so much for having us as guests. Anytime you ask, we will be there. We will be there.
Dude, we didn't even go over the improvements that they did.
Well, great segue. Zombie says security was definitely better and faster.
A million times
absolutely.
better.
And
Million
to answer
times
Rat
better.
Zombie about the whole music thing, so what they did was they actually shut down the street, this little street in between the two north buildings, and they had the music stage out there, they had mini golf out there, like Tech Deck skate park out there,
Right.
A couple of food trucks and stuff. It worked out great. It worked out phenomenally.
Honestly, I was going to mention earlier.
I did see the life-size Tauntaun. That was pretty cool.
Tauntaun. Which one's Tauntaun?
It's from The Empire Strikes Back, the thing they ride on
Okay.
Hoth.
Yeah.
Yeah. Zombie says my supernatural bro. Hey, Josh X05. Oh, I guess they know each other. Right on, dude.
Nice.
Well, welcome, Josh. Rat Zombie says, that sounds amazing. Yeah, last year we were in the rain for nearly 3 hours to get our badges. Yeah, no. So if it had rained, it would have kind of fucked up the outdoor setup.
Yeah.
Thankfully, there was no rain, but the weather was really nice.
Right.
Like perfect weather. I would say this weekend's weather was very much San Diego weather.
Wow.
Which
really?
I call perfect weather. San Diego is like, it has the perfect weather just about year round.
Nice. Yeah, no, I was gonna say, you know, honestly, because I was gonna mention this earlier when he asked about the whole having the band outside.
Mm-hmm.
I was gonna say, honestly, I feel like having the band outside, entering right after the whole security checkpoint, it honestly set the vibe for the whole thing. Having the band outside was the perfect choice. It set the vibe. It felt great. And the security was like on point this year.
Very fast. Very fast.
Very fucking fast.
Yeah, dude. And look, I like the music inside as a visual aspect, but when you got the pro wrestling going on, you have the like Guitar Hero stage and shit going on, and then you have the competitive gaming stages going on.
Yeah,
it is so loud.
Mm-hmm.
So loud. So you have to like shout.
Yeah.
And the place is already loud enough. It's funny because when you and I go in before the general population, even the VIPs get in, it's nice, it's quiet. You can hear someone like remove a sheet off of their table from the other side of the con.
You can hear a fly fart from the other side of the con.
But then when people start pouring in, all of a sudden you hear everyone talk as like one voice essentially. Yeah. And that's loud.
Oh yeah.
So by the time you're walking around and like seeing everyone, you're kind of like, oh fuck, I think I've been talking a little loud all day, fuck. So, and then you throw in the loud live music on top of that, it's a bit much.
Oh yeah.
And because they removed the music stage out of there, it allowed more arcades or more console stations or PC setups and stuff to be in there.
Yeah.
So yeah.
There's a lot of net positives compared to last year. And I get it. Last year there was a lot of growing pains.
Don't worry about it, Josh. You're good, dude. If you're ever just watching and not chatting, just type a little howdy. You know what I mean? You're all good, dude.
Right. But yeah, no, this year there's a lot of net positives. I know, like Jordan earlier, which by the way, did we ever read what Jordan said about why she didn't like the setup this year?
No.
No?
Hold on, I'm gonna scroll up to it though, real fast.
It was a minute ago.
I do love talking about Game On, but we do have another advertised thing that we need to talk about. So she had said the gaming area / wrestling, etc. could have looked better to me and just seemed out of place, but the vendor area was fine. And I talked to Paul and he was like, I don't know why I'm so far away from the Mortal Kombat people.
Oh yeah.
So I wouldn't necessarily agree with the whole gaming area and wrestling could have looked better and seemed out of place. I feel like it very much had its own place. Like
I agree with
the partitioning wall was only halfway up, and I think that was for noise purposes.
Yeah.
Because they had the free play arcade, and then the wrestling ring, and all of the big stages in this new expanded area of the convention center floor. And there was like this big false wall that went about halfway across to separate the rest of the convention floor from that very loud section of the convention with the wrestling and everything.
Yeah.
I thought it worked well.
Same here. I thought it did work really well.
I thought it worked really well. I don't know, honestly, how else they could have made that better.
Yeah, because if they would have opened that wall up all the way, all that noise would have oversaturated the vendor hall.
Yeah, and I mean, you would have heard someone take a bump in the wrestling ring all the way across.
Yeah. and it would have kind of. It would have been like it was last year, where it was just too much noise. You couldn't hear anything. Like if you were with the band, you couldn't really hear the band because the wrestling was going on.
Yeah.
And you couldn't hear the wrestling announcer because the band was going on.
So funny enough, Zombie says less gaming sellers than last year, and sadly saw the Pokemon card scalpers too. So I know for sure, Josh and I will both disagree with you that there were less gaming sellers because there was, in our professional opinion, more.
It's funny because we had the same argument with Reggie.
With Reggie, yeah.
Yeah.
But we kind of persuaded him, I would say, more to our side. Because last year, for sure, there was way more art vendors and way more, like, trinkets and stuff vendors. And game vendors. Which is, like, fine and stuff.
Yeah.
But I did also see the Pokemon card scalpers. There were people selling booster packs there for like double MSRP.
Right.
And
I mean, you pointed our feet at them while we were there.
yeah, like right away.
Yeah.
I was like, God dang, $12 for a fucking booster pack?
Right.
And I was like, this isn't even the current run. You know, but yeah, sadly, Pokemon is its own fucking problem right now.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, man. The Pokemon Company controls the amount that they're going to push out. And I understand if they keep pumping out, you know, booster packs and availability of the cards, it's going to lessen the effect of the rarity of certain cards.
Yeah.
But I feel like you can really control that way better.
Oh, of course.
The Pokemon Company always finds a way to piss me off when it comes to the card availability and distribution. Like, on Friday, I had posted Friday morning, I had actually found for the very first time since like November booster packs, and it was the new line, the Journey Together run that's out right now.
Ironic that it's called Journey Together.
Journey Together, right? But I actually bought 4 booster packs at Target. Their limit was 4. Normally, I'm not the kind of guy to buy up to the limit, but I was like, you know what? This is the first time I'm buying Pokemon cards since November. This is now April. I am going to buy 4 packs.
And the thing is, like, I was super excited when we went to that Pokemon tournament thing. What was it called? The Sparking
Tucson
Zeros.
Games and Gadgets.
The Sparking Zeros thing.
Oh, like the pre-release tournament?
Yeah, the pre-release tournament. Honestly, I was super excited to go to that because I really didn't play Pokemon back then because I didn't really know what to do.
Damn.
I didn't know how to play it.
Zombie says, I saw someone buy a prismatic box set, then turn around and they tried to flip it.
Yeah,
That's fucking sad. Elvis says, that's crazy. I felt the same way. More art in Pokemon scalpers and game booths. Rat Zombie says they need to do something. People getting into fistfights at Costco over Pokemon is insane. And then Zombie says, I haven't seen any cards or fights at my nearby Costco, sadly. LOL. Yeah, no, I haven't seen that, but I have seen videos for sure of scalpers going out and just like buying them all out of, you know, like the Pokemon Center vending machines that they have out at places, storefronts, you know, getting raided, Targets getting fucking sold out immediately as soon as they're stocked, so on and so forth. And it's all the same kind of looking guy. It's all the same kind of looking people, you know. Ando says my local supermarket has a Pokemon vending machine, and I'm sure it's always empty now, right? Snark cracks his knuckles hearing about these fucking scalpers. Snark has a great phrase for scalpers. It's fuck scalpers. Literally, in any chat in the Discord. And guys, I just want to remind you, we are viewer supported. I know we do have a lot of new audience here. If you like what you see here, please leave a like, a thumbs up. Please consider giving us a subscribe. And also, if you wouldn't, if you're interested, head on over to patreon.com/Nsquared podcast. For as low as $3, you can help support us because we are viewer supported. We are not yet monetized on YouTube. Every single dollar that we get goes into the channel, whether it's new equipment or better software or whatever. It all goes directly into the product that you see. So it's just a betterment of the product here. So that's patreon.com/Nsquared podcast. We have several tiers, but even the $3 tier is all right, dude. You get any question asked in the Patreon question block every week, as well as a really cool sticker that I had made. It's a Nsquared podcast logo sticker that you get, as well as a personalized handwritten letter. Thank you, Ando. Oh yeah, mostly empty, you're right. Yeah, that sucks, dude. I see videos all the time of people just walking up to them and clearing them out. And I don't, these vending machines, they have to have a limit.
Of course not.
No, I'm saying they have to, they need to.
They're not going to, because how are they gonna really check and make sure, you can only buy 3 packs per day, on this shit.
Yeah. Zombie says, I'm glad what I'm buying in Yu-Gi-Oh! No one really wants, and even then, they haven't been hit as badly as Pokemon.
Honestly, as much as I hate how, expensive Yu-Gi-Oh! Can get, he's right.
Yeah. And I think Yu-Gi-Oh! Has way cooler card art for the most, in general.
The thing is, the issue with Yu-Gi-Oh! Is that Yu-Gi-Oh! Is harder to get into because it's a little bit more complicated now compared to Pokemon, when it comes to its rules.
Yeah, Pokemon is definitely an easier game to follow.
Yeah.
And to learn right off the bat.
Mm-hmm.
And then nowadays, too, they've even simplified it with those, the Pokemon Academy boxes.
Right.
That give you 2 generic decks, and
Right.
it teaches you how to play, with the instruction booklet and everything.
Right, because with Yu-Gi-Oh! You have Exceed Summoning, Synchro Summoning, you have Link Summoning, you have Pendulum Summoning, you have Fusion Summoning, you have Ritual Summoning, you have Special Summoning, you have Normal Summoning. Yeah, it gets ridiculous. Because, I have a fuck ton of Yu-Gi-Oh! Cards right now. I haven't bought any in a while because it's kind of gotten ridiculous. I still love the game, but it's still not as bad as Pokemon because of scalpers. Fuck scalpers. They can eat dicks. They can eat ass. They can go fuck off.
Sorry, I just came across Game on Expo's thank you to everybody post.
Oh, okay.
And I'm gonna comment on it right now before my algorithm decides to start throwing me a bunch of woodworking shit and stuff again, because that's my algorithm. But yeah, continue about whatever Yu-Gi-Oh.
About
Yu-Gi-Oh.
No, I was gonna say about fuck scalpers.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, Yu-Gi-Oh can get pretty bad. Because I remember there was at one point where there was a card, especially if you want to do tournament play, there was a card that in order to get it, it costs around $500. And in tournament play, it was damn near necessary, pretty much, to get it. Of course, eventually they reprinted the cards and all that. But that's a whole separate issue. Pokemon, it's more so it's just there's never fucking any packs to get at all. Whereas Yu-Gi-Oh! Is it's more so the cards are so fucking rare in the packs, it's kind of pointless to buy the packs. You just might as well wait till somebody finds it, in the box set, whatever you call it. And in Pokemon, it's just everybody buys the damn packs until the store is empty,
Yep.
And that's shitty. Because it sucks.
Shitty.
Shitty.
It's shitty.
It's shitty. It's shitty because, when me and Nick went to that fucking...
Nick and I
don't care about being grammatically correct. I'm a few beers in. Fuck it.
I'm a few beers in. Fuck it.
When we went to that tournament, I was super excited to get into Pokemon because this is my first time actually playing with somebody, you know, that could get me into it, knew what they were doing, and just have fun. Not even a week later, when I went to the store to buy some shit, I was like, you know what? Let me see if there's any Pokemon cards.
Yeah.
It was fucking empty. I was like, all right.
It's a fucking shame, dude.
I was like, all right, fuck it. Let me wait a few more days and see if there's more Pokemon cards, because I really wanted to start collecting and build my own deck.
Yeah.
That's
the only reason why I've been, like, after that tournament, because, to preface this, I used to be in the Pokemon League when I was a kid.
Yeah.
And I would go to all these tournaments, different Toys R Us's, Hastings, whatever. I had a bunch of badges, you know, because when you would win a tournament or level up or whatever, after winning a et cetera amount of matches, you would get a badge just like Ash did.
Yeah.
And I had all the badges, and I loved playing in the Pokemon League. And it was back then. It was Wizards of the Coast who was the one in charge of it, and it had been years, like 2 decades, since I had played last. And when Josh and I went to that tournament, it was like on a whim. I called him at the card shop. Hey, bro, I found this really cool hole-in-the-wall place that I had no idea existed. That's really close by. Let's fucking play. You want to play? Let's go play.
I was like, fuck yeah.
Yeah, why not? And I was like, dude, they're going to give us cards that no one's seen before. No one will see until like 2 more weeks from now.
Yeah.
And ever since then, I was collecting and buying cards for the purpose of building decks. But then I saw a pattern that was kind of not so cool. And seeing that the availability of cards was becoming less and less and less, and it started with that run.
Yeah.
Surging Sparks?
Which is weird. It's like it's the run that we wanted to just.
That was the one run that we had jumped into.
It was just happenstance.
And I think what it was the chase cards for that run were to the fucking moon.
It was the Eevee cards, wasn't it?
And the Pikachu.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because you had thought you had gotten the Pikachu.
Yeah.
But it wasn't quite that one.
It was another version of it.
Yeah. And it just fucking blew up. Go ahead and keep on with the chat. Guys, I'm going to take a restroom break real fast. I'll be right back.
Cool.
And then we'll get into the Nintendo Switch 2. So please, if you got some shit to say about that, stick around, and I'll be right back, and we'll hop right onto that.
All right, let's see. Where were we at? Zombie says the video where people were ravaging Costco, but someone put the Walking Dead theme in it, and it's funny. Rad Zombie says Pokemon is out, One Piece cards are in. I don't know. It's like I get the hype over One Piece because I used to read One Piece manga, but I feel like it just took so fucking long. I kind of like got out of it. Like, it's a great story, don't get me wrong, but I'm just kind of like, all right, get to the point. It was a fun read for a while. I stopped reading shortly after they met, it was on the elephant island, quote unquote. It was shortly after that they go to the island or the place where they have that one dude that has a dragon fruit. I stopped reading around there. But yeah. Anno Gamer says, I'm glad I don't collect Pokemon cards, but it does suck to be a Pokemon collector with all the resellers. Dude, it does. I mean, just somebody like me, I was super excited to get into Pokemon for the first time. Because I wanted to play with Nick. It was like, play with my buddy, meet new people, try a new card game. Because I was super into Yu-Gi-Oh! For a while. Until it just kind of got expensive to be, in the meta and playing local tournaments. Kind of bullshit. I was like, let me get into this. But it was hard to find any fucking cards. This was back in October, probably before October. And for the longest time, I could not find any fucking cards. So by the time it hit December, I was like, you know what? fuck it. I'm not playing anymore. I don't want to play anymore. I can't find shit. Everybody bought out everything. And it's not even anybody. It's just the scalpers bought out everything. They're trying to fucking resell. They can kiss my ass. And it's unfortunate because, like, imagine, I feel that way about that shit. Imagine some kid that's getting into Yu-Gi-Oh! Fucking 6, 7 years old. Getting into Yu-Gi-Oh! I mean, not Yu-Gi-Oh! Pokemon. And they
Are we sold out?
Huh?
In the fridge. Is there no more?
Oh, there's a few more.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I'll grab him in a second. Yeah. You know, and that's how I feel about the whole Pokemon situation. Josh says the machines are getting a limit based on the card they use, and scalpers are getting caught by the stores there, and using cards with other names trying to get around it.
Oh, that's shitty.
Fucking
scummy, dude.
They can suck a dick. Hopefully they get caught.
And not like it.
Right?
What is it? That's really gay. In the lame way, not in the dick sucking way. Is that what I said? Over the weekend.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
Josh says it's becoming more location. Their place in having attentive staff monitoring them.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I mean, that's good.
Yeah.
I've never seen one of those Pokemon Center vending machines.
Me neither.
Yeah. But I feel like right now, if I were to come across one, it would be like not that big of a deal because there's probably nothing in it to begin with. Yeah, no. It's unfortunate. Sting a voice. I agree.
Yeah, no, it is unfortunate.
How many were left in there? Did you see?
There's 2 more after this.
Okay. All right. Once you get back, we'll talk about the Switch 2 and then wrap the show. So guys, how are you enjoying the stream? I'm seeing some new faces in here. I'm seeing that we actually we've got some new audience members and stuff. How's everyone doing tonight? I'm really happy to see that the chat is just so talkative tonight, and I'm really glad to see so many of you guys in here, whether it be for the first time or just coming back. You know, we wouldn't be here without you guys. Otherwise, we'd just be talking into a empty void. You know what I mean? Streamer's first day out. Red Zombie says those things are always cleared out. I'm sure. Red Zombie, you live up in a major populated area. Do you ever see any of those machines? Seattle Chef, dude, what's going on, my man? Happy to have you here. I can say where I live in Tucson, I have not seen one single Pokemon Center, vending machines. I don't know. I would imagine those might be like only in like California and maybe Seattle, like really big cities, but I'm in the West Valley, man. Ain't shit out here. Yeah, I would assume there might be some in Phoenix, but I don't know. I'm not sure. But yeah, it really does suck, man. The scummy villainy of resellers with Pokemon cards is it's atrocious. Imagine being, dude, okay, so here's a story that I've said before on stream, but it'll be brief. I walked into a GameStop the day Prismatic Evolutions came out, and it's the local GameStop that I go to. All the guys know me and stuff. And I walked in and I was like, "You guys got any more Pokemon cards?" And I asked them that before I even looked at the wall, and the wall was cleared out. And this location happens to be a test store for an expanded section of Pokemon cards in the store. So they have a focus of Pokemon cards with this store as a test location. And they had none. And shortly after I had gone into the store, a kid came in with his gift card. He had gotten like $100 gift card for his birthday, I think it was. And he walked up and goes, "Sir, do you have any Pokemon cards?" And the clerk, unfortunately, I'm not necessarily a fan of this certain clerk at my local GameStop. But he laughed at the kid. The kid had to be like 7 or 8. He had laughed and responded, "No, dude, we don't have anything, and none of our stores do." And the look of dejection on the kid's face was just really sad. And after the kid left, I turned around to the clerk because I know him on a name basis, and I was like, "Dude, that was screwed up. That was screwed up." And I was like, on today of all days, like when the new run just came out, and you're showing off your cards that you bought, you do that? Nah, dude. He ended up apologizing to me, but I really would have liked for him to not even do that in the first place, and I would have also liked for him to have the opportunity to apologize to that kid, because I guarantee you that kid probably never went back to that GameStop. But it's because of scalpers, bro. Scalpers. I'm not gonna lie, dude. A lot of GameStop employees are probably part of the problem as well. Because they'll tell their buddies, "Hey, we got a shipment coming in," or whatever, or they buy them up themselves, man. It's rough out there. It's really rough. But when I feel like people don't necessarily take it to heart when people like us say, "Dude, think of the kids, man. Think of the kids who are just trying to get into Pokemon and stuff." And then, you know, you have this this experience that I did with that kid coming in just wanting to spend his gift card on Pokemon cards, get laughed at and stuff, dude. Like, that ain't fucking cool, man. And that kid was probably heartbroken. Who knows if he even got fucking Pokemon cards, like,
Exactly.
up until now, you know what I mean?
Well, the issue with that isn't even just if he got him up until now. The issue is now, because of shit like that, that kid is not going to want to get into Pokemon anymore.
Either that, or he's going to get suckered into paying above MSRP at local card shops.
Right?
You know, because local card shops, like, dude, I get it, man. Supply and demand, business, you know, fucking capitalism, blah, 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 whatever. A private business can charge whatever they want to fucking charge. MSRP is suggested retail price.
Yeah.
You know, in a private, you know, a private card shop can say, well, you can't go to big box chains and find them. So I have them here, and you're going to pay what I ask for.
Yep.
And that sucks.
And
that sucks.
And that's bad for the community, because that's going to scare a lot of new players away, and you don't want to scare new people away.
Yeah.
You don't.
And like, I, for one, dude, refuse to pay above MSRP. I've done it once, and I won't do it again. Will not do it again. I bought a Surging Sparks. I think I bought like 1 or 2 booster packs above MSRP at a local card shop. Card Kings. Not afraid to shout them out for a negative thing. It's the one in the plaza where Hobby Lobby is. Next to that restaurant or whatever. The sushi place.
Wait, really?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're mainly a sports card shop, but they have Pokemon as well.
Oh, I didn't know that.
And the guy was like, "Do you want to buy a box of the boosters?" And I was like, out of curiosity, I was like, "How much?" And it was like a couple $100.
Oh, fuck
yeah, I was like,
that.
"Go to fucking hell. Fuck
No.
off with that shit."
Hell no.
You know, whatever. But yeah, no, it really does suck. And if you're new here, we do have some strong opinions on certain things that you'll see. Being shitty to your customers is something that we're very strong against. And we do not like scalpers here. Resellers, if you're a booth at a convention and you're, you know, obviously you are reselling. It's not like that PS1 game that you have is brand new in circulation. You know what I mean?
Right.
Every vendor is a reseller, but you don't be a scummy reseller. So let's see. Go ahead and catch up.
What was the last thing you read?
I want to say. We'll start right here.
All right. Josh says, the only one I ever got to see and use was one in Washington State. I'm guessing he's talking about the Pokemon vending machine.
Yes.
Yeah. That's pretty cool though. A vending machine for Pokemon cards. Like if they can get that right, that'd be great. You know what I mean? Where they can stop you from getting too much. And No Gamer says, doing good so far. It's nice to recap the expo. I hope I get to see more next year. Maybe the concert, I did miss it. Oh, you didn't go see the concert on the outside? Is that what you're talking about? If that's the case, yeah, that was kind of weird. It's weird because like that's how it was for us, because we saw that they were on the outside, but we didn't really go see them. Mainly because of the fact that we went to go say hi to everybody pretty much downstairs, so we didn't really have a chance to really go outside and check out the concert. Either way, though, my opinion was that it was a good choice to have the concert on the outside near the entrance, because it definitely set the vibe, and it helped as you were exiting. It made it fun as you were exiting. Snark says, I've been meaning to ask you, as I'm an idiot when it comes to West Coast, but how far is Phoenix from where you are?
Oh, just like an hour and a half to 2 hours, depending on traffic.
Yeah, and how fast you're going.
Yeah, and how fast you're going, for sure.
Zombie JLT says, scalpers are one half, the other is those choosing to buy. Yeah.
Like buy from the scalpers, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm a part of some Reddit threads, and a lot of that sentiment of don't buy from scalpers is pushed in those circles, but also you see people all the time posting like, I couldn't help myself and I bought from a scalper. And it's like, of course there's the FOMO, and there's also guys who are just like, I'm just trying to buy cards to send in to get the ratings, to get them graded. And they just want to get the cards graded to turn a dime, so they're pretty much a scalper in their own right,
Yeah. Which it brings it back to that video. Was it video or was it a podcast that we had talking about how grading is fucking shit up?
I think it was a podcast. I don't think I made a video about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There goes a video idea.
Yeah. Seriously.
Right.
So
Snark says, oh yeah, that's what they did back when we were all trying to get the PS2 at launch. GameStop, Walmart, Target, they all were hoarding them for their employees. That's what pisses me off the most. God, that's shitty. Sonic says, in quotes, go to hell. You were actually being nice to him compared to what I'd say. I know Gamer says, I didn't see the outside concert, but hopefully next year. Yeah,
it was a really cool setup.
Yeah.
Really decent sized stage. Lighting was really cool as well. It was really cool. I loved how they blocked off that like section, that street.
Dude, it was the best decision they could have ever made.
Yeah. Yeah.
It made security so much easier.
There were 2 security entry points.
Yeah.
And then you just walk into the event from there.
And it's funny because the security entry points were not that much bigger than they were last year.
No, but the fact that there was 2 of them.
Mm-hmm.
And you didn't have to worry about weaving through traffic.
Yeah.
And there was just more to do outside, which is really cool.
Yeah.
And from what I noticed, the outside was busy.
Dude, yeah, it was packed. It was fantastic. It was honestly the best route they could have gone with.
And then did you read Ando?
Yeah, he said I didn't see the outside concert, but hopefully next year. Yeah.
And then Snark says Wada is fucking evil. That's their company grading and all that. So let's go ahead. I know we've been on for about 3 hours now, but thank you for sticking with us, guys, especially you East Coasters. It is 12:30 a.m. for you, or 12:31 a.m. So we thank you, just like our moderator Snark, who is a fucking legend.
Hell yeah.
Ando says, I just hope they keep the expo in March or April. Nobody needs to be there in the summer. Yeah, it was nice. They blocked off the street. Yeah, I was there. I was there. Rich Farm remembers. Back when Game On Expo was in August.
Dude, I was there. What one?
You were there for one
August.
August Game On Expo, and it was fucking brutal.
Dude, and that was just me going as a regular, like, dressed attendee. This fucker went in cosplay.
Oh yeah.
God.
Yeah, it was bad. But I've done it. I did it every year since then. I am so glad they decided to switch it up, because that was like the biggest complaint for a long time was it is too fucking hot, bro.
Yeah.
It would be like, like 11 o'clock at night and you're bar hopping with friends after the show and it's still 110 out, you know? Yeah, Endo says, August in Phoenix is just gross. Yeah, seriously.
Yeah.
Yeah. I did like several wardrobe changes because I'd be sweating through all my clothes. Zombie says anytime in Phoenix is gross. I don't know, bro. I mean, yeah, Phoenix kind of is overpopulated and shit, but
Right.
So let's go ahead and talk about the Nintendo Switch 2. There is so much controversy over this console that has not even come out yet.
Yeah.
So what are your thoughts and feelings on everything that's been announced for the Switch?
So we had this conversation over on our Discord between all of us.
Yeah.
Which, if you guys want to join us on Patreon.
Yes.
So you can get on that Discord.
Yes, join us on patreon.com/Nsquared podcast. The $3 tier even gets you access to the Discord server, as well as our Call of Duty nights or other random video games that we decide to play just about every Saturday night. We hop on and get mic'd up and play video games with our Patreon supporters.
Yeah. But like we had that conversation about pretty much the price point for it, about it being roughly $400 to $450, is a little steep for a Switch product, but at the same time it's very fair. It's not a bad price for what you're getting. It's not bad.
It's not terrible, but it is definitely one of the steeper. I don't even think the Wii U cost that much.
No.
Yeah, so this is probably Nintendo's most expensive console.
Yeah. But at the same time, for what you're getting,
actually,
it's understandable.
I'm going to, and this is a total caveat, but I'm going to see how much the NES was at launch and use the good old inflation calculator to see exactly if it is the most expensive.
Wasn't NES a little over $100?
So the NES cost $199 at launch.
Damn. For
and
inflation.
That was in 1985.
Ooh, I'm curious to see what the price is now.
And
like for inflation costs.
$199.99.
It's $200.
Oh, that would have cost just about $593.06 in our day. So, I mean, technically speaking, if we're including inflation, the NES did cost more.
Yeah.
But let's just say for general pricing sake, okay, in generalities.
Yeah. The Switch
2 is definitely the most expensive.
Nintendo console that they've released yet.
Yeah. For example's sake here, the Wii cost $249.99 when it launched. How much did the Wii U cost at launch? $299.
Yeah, that's like $150 cheaper.
Yeah, but I guess if you include inflation, that would be $415 in 2025.
It's still cheaper?
Still cheaper. How much did the N64 cost at launch? $199.99. It was initially planned to launch at $250.
Ooh, damn.
But they made it $199.99 to compete with the PS1 and Sega Saturn. In today's terms, it would be about $400. So yeah, no, there's definitely a price hike here.
Oh yeah.
So how do you feel about the price hike? Do you think it's worth it, or? And look, we're just talking about the console and what it can do, and the upgrades that it has from the base Switch, even the OLED. We can include the OLED, because all the OLED really had going for it was the larger, brighter, clearer screen.
Yeah. I personally feel like if what they are putting on the table is correct and true, which normally Nintendo is honest about that shit, it is honestly worth it. Because not only are you getting a fucking console like you would with like the fucking the PS5 and the Xbox, but you're also getting a handheld in one. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It is definitely worth the price. Is it steep? Ugh. It hurts to say, but yes.
Yeah.
But it's still worth it. 100% worth it.
Okay. So to hop on, okay, so let's catch up with the chat here.
Endo Gamer.
Yeah, we'll go with Ando Gamer here. Nintendo Switch 2 is a bloody mess. I do want one, but I'm going to wait. I guess Nintendo is doubling down on the dynamic pricing of the games. It's going to be wild. And then to hop on hop on with that, we have Jordan here from Toybox Time Machine. She says $100 for a physical game like Mario Kart is crazy to me. Yes, I know it's $90, but tax and whatnot.
Yeah.
So it's actually going to be $79.99, not $90. So you're looking at maybe 90-ish bucks after tax for that game.
It's still ridiculous.
So let's go ahead and talk about. I will say too. I'll give my thoughts on the console itself. I was really hoping for $399.99. $400, I think, is very reasonable. I think the Switch costs $350 at launch.
I think you're right.
Remember?
I think you're right. I can double check it.
Double check.
Yeah.
Just Google how much did the Switch cost at launch. I thought, given the upgrades and everything, because I think it's common knowledge by now that everyone knows, whether it be Sony, Microsoft, or Nintendo, even Sega, whoever, they always take a loss on the hardware. So every console will always take so
$299.
So $299.
Yeah.
So it costs $299 at launch, the Switch. So we're talking about a $150 increase. I know there's inflation, and I know, the technology has gotten more expensive and stuff, but even though with all the upgrades in the Switch 2, it's still not necessarily caught up to the modern console era. The Switch itself was a glorified smartphone from 2012.
Yeah.
The functionality of it is one of a kind, and it has that gimmick going for it. Nintendo is a gimmick machine, which is great, and I think that's why a lot of people love Nintendo. The Trident controller is iconic. Do people hate it?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
But it's iconic.
Of course.
And I think people get very nostalgic looking back at the image of that controller. Now, I will say, do I think the improvements from the Switch or the Switch OLED to the Switch 2 are worth $150 in increase? I don't think so. Which is why I said I was hoping it would be at least $399.99. I think that would be reasonable. Because at the end of the day, it is still a hybrid handheld.
Yeah.
The only thing that it has going for it are its exclusives that you cannot get anywhere else.
Yeah.
Otherwise, if it's a third-party game, I will play it on the Xbox or PS5 because it will look and run better. Now, I had seen, I think Snark said, yes, Snark has said here, but what I hate is how I can't use the micro SD on my Switch Lite on the Switch 2, even as a quote-unquote cold storage. I have to get the micro SD Express. So here we are seeing the Nintendo Switch start to get a little proprietary-esque, where you're going to have to... What is it? The black web internal hard drives that you can buy for the PS5 or
yeah.
the Xbox.
Yeah.
That's pretty much universal, you know, aside from, I think it's like certain sizings or whatever. The micro SD Express, they say you need that because the game cards will run faster and this and that or whatever, faster loading times, this and that, whatever. Okay, I guess.
I don't.
But
understand
not.
how.
It's not like the Switch will run a game like Helldivers 2 the way a Steam Deck would.
Right?
A Steam Deck, I think, is still way more powerful. Correct me, guys, if I'm wrong, but I do think the Steam Deck is still more powerful than the Switch 2, spec-wise. I don't think I heard anything about battery life during the Direct. I don't think I heard anything about battery life.
You're right.
Whether it's going to be extended or not, or what the significance is if it is extended. Right? Are you going to get an hour more out of it, or are you going to get several more hours out of it?
Well, the thing is, like, if it's as powerful as they say it is, you're probably not gonna get that much more out of it, even if it has an improved battery life.
Yeah.
Because it's more powerful, it's gonna require more energy. It's gonna require more power. So that battery life is not gonna be comparable.
Right.
Because like right now, my issue with my Switch is I've had it for a few years. My battery life doesn't last that long.
Yeah, no, mine... I don't really think mine lasts more than like 6 to 7 hours.
Dude, yours lasts longer than mine.
Dang.
Yeah. Earlier today, I was playing... Oh yeah, because we didn't talk about what I picked up.
No, we didn't.
I picked up Tears of the Kingdom during the Game On Expo. And I got that one for technically $40. It was 50, but we because of Nick, he talked the vendor down to because we got a combo because he got some games and I got that one, and it was like 210 in total, but he talked him down to 200. So I got pretty much Tears of the Kingdom
Nerd
for
Strategy
$40.
says, it's still weird to see you without a mustache. Yeah, I know, dude. It's weird for me too.
Right.
Like when I go to comb my hair and stuff, I have to stop myself from combing my face because there's nothing there to comb.
Right.
My son tried to like grab my mustache today that's not there. You won, I believe you won one of the GameCube controllers that we gave away from Retro Fighters, right? Because they were both sitting next to each other, I think.
Yeah.
Even though it was totally random, it happened to be that way.
Right.
Yeah.
Sorry, Elvis.
Right? Sorry, Elvis. Sorry, bro. But yeah, battery life and stuff. You were saying you were playing Tears of the Kingdom.
Yeah, and earlier I was playing Tears of the Kingdom before I came over. And because I've had my Switch for a while, I've had it for quite a few years now. I was playing it. I had it fully charged. I was like, all right, it's fully charged. Let me disconnect it.
Yeah.
I played it for about maybe hour and a half.
Mm-hmm.
It dropped down to 29%.
And it was at 100%.
Yeah, to 29%.
Holy shit,
Yeah.
dude.
Granted, like I said, I've had it for a while. When I first had it, like when I first bought it, I used it a lot.
So, did you get yours at launch?
No,
It was
I did not.
after.
No, I got mine. I think it was either Smash Ultimate or Breath of the Wild. Hold on.
Okay.
I'm gonna Google that. Smash Ultimate.
Well, I think Smash Ultimate came out launch here. And you said Breath of the Wild? That was like a day one game.
So Smash Ultimate came December 7th, 2018. And then Breath of the Wild
That was launch day. Because that also came out on the Wii U.
was March 3rd, 2017. And
So-
Switch 1 release date. March 3rd, 2017. So I got it when I got Smash Ultimate.
Okay.
Yeah, so it was a year later.
A little over a year, yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So anyways, yeah, battery power. We have no idea what really the specs are for the Nintendo Switch 2 battery life expectancy is. So that, again, kind of leaves it up in the air. Like, ultimately, I do not think the $150 price jump from the Switch to the Switch 2 is necessary. I think $100, fine, yes, sure. The game's cost. Let's go over that, okay?
Ooh.
Now, we're going to talk about this on both sides of the coin, okay?
Yeah.
Because the 80s and 90s did, in fact, happen, okay?
Which we had a whole conversation about that, too.
Yeah.
It was me and you.
Yeah. And here's the deal. Back then, it was still the Wild West of video games, and video game prices in particular. There wasn't a set standard, industry standard yet, on what a video game should necessarily cost. It wasn't until, like, the PS2 and Xbox came out where video games started to get a standardized price. The Nintendo GameCube games were also cheaper for Nintendo to produce because they were on the mini CDs. So their games ended up becoming somewhat cheaper.
Yeah.
Now you look at them nowadays, and the GameCube is a pretty expensive system to collect for.
Right.
But video games did cost wildly different prices. I mean, for instance, I think Killer Instinct Gold on the N64, or was it? Yeah, I think it was the N64. It did cost like $85.
Damn.
Yeah, because I had shown you some of those old ads.
Yeah, no, they were all over the place.
Yeah, it was all over the place. And then you also include inflation on that too if you want, and it's even more wild of a price point, right? And then you had games on the same system go for like $40 or $65. And some of these games, the way they were priced too, they had like even weird change numbers. So it'd be like 65, 38. You know, $65.38.
Yeah.
It was just a weird price point. But to bring that up into the modern day, where that's not necessarily relevant anymore, it is wild to me to see Nintendo go back to those ways and to openly say that every game is not going to cost the same on the Nintendo Switch. Now, not every game will cost the same. And it's pretty much going to be up to the developers, which is feeding into a fear that a lot of people have about Grand Theft Auto 6. There has been a long time rumor now for about a year or so that Grand Theft Auto 6 is going to be the first $100 base game.
Yeah.
It had not been confirmed by Rockstar, still has not been confirmed. But by Nintendo saying Mario Kart World is going to be an $80 game at launch, almost gives Rockstar the permission to go, well, they were rumoring it, and we haven't confirmed it, so we might as well just fucking go with the rumors now.
Right.
You know, which it's pretty much giving Rockstar the permission and agency to say, yeah, it's going to be a $100 game. Right. And then what does that do for the rest of the video game industry?
Exactly.
I mean, dude.
Like, one thing I get is that, alright, I get it, but at the same time, it's their own fucking fault. I get that games are getting expensive to make. But at the same time, it's their own fucking fault for making a game that cost $300 fucking plus million to make.
Yeah.
It's like, bro, you do not have to have the world's greatest fucking graphics on a fucking video game.
Yeah, graphics are a very slim part of what makes a game a game.
Right? Especially at this point in the fucking, like, the race in video games. Graphics from, like, for example, graphics from PS4 to PS5. Excuse me. are only a little bit better.
Yeah, the significance in the graphical leap was something to be said when it went from like Sega Genesis to Sega Saturn or Sega Genesis to PS1, right? And then
Or
from PS1 to PS2 was still a pretty big gap.
Even from PS2 to PS3 was still a pretty big gap.
Yeah, but though there is the example of the original Xbox,
Yeah.
that system could run some motherfucking good software.
Oh yeah, no, you're
Yeah.
right about
I mean,
that.
You look at like Doom
Definitely
3, for
right about
example,
that.
and you're like, this looks like a 360 game.
Mm-hmm.
You look at Chronicles of Riddick, Butcher Bay, you're like, this looks like a fucking 360 game. And those games still look that good.
Right?
You know? But the graphical
Fidelity.
fidelity and leap of improvement has shrunk more and more between every console generation. When and I made a video about the PS5 Pro when that was announced and stuff. I made a video trashing the PS5 Pro because they were talking about how it can do like this ray tracing incredible and you know, it can run at this and that and blah 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 blah. And it's like, dude, no one can fucking notice that anymore.
Right, even in the fucking trailer for it, you could barely tell the fucking difference.
Barely. You could hardly see a difference in it.
It's that you have to be like squinting and really paying
No, you gotta
attention.
really just like stare at it. You gotta stare at one image for
Like-
like 30 seconds and then look at the other image.
Like you have to pause literally.
Yeah. So for games to be back in like the Wild West of pricing for the Nintendo Switch 2, I think it's just an incredible, not step backwards, but a leap backwards. And I think what that says to the consumers is Nintendo does not care about you. Nintendo is a greedy fucking company.
Yeah.
They are greedy. And I think Nintendo is one of the only or very few companies in the gaming industry that is like not in debt. That have cash. That have liquid equity. And they are still charging this way. For what reason? Because they can.
Yep.
Because they know everyone will be clawing at the fucking teeth for the newest Animal Crossing. For Metroid Prime 4 Switch 2 Edition.
Yep.
Because it'll run at 120 frames per second instead of 60 frames per second. Because you can get the Switch version, but it'll only run at 60 FPS.
Yep.
And dude, it'll still look great at 60 FPS. That's like the industry standard. I mean, shit, dude. Even still, if it's not at 60, there are so many games that run at 30 frames per second that still look good.
Oh yeah.
You got to be a real snob to like be like, oh, this game sucks because of the the frames per second or blah 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 blah, so on and so forth. But like, I think that's more for like the tech heads. You know what I mean? Do I like a good steady 60 frames per second?
Of
You know?
course.
Yeah, absolutely.
Who wouldn't?
Buttery smooth and stuff, right? But I'm
But
not
it-
going to expect that out of a handheld playing, a hefty game.
Right? And I think it's like if you really compare 30 FPS to 60 FPS, our eyes can only perceive so much FPS.
Well, and then
30 FPS doesn't look that bad.
And then same thing with, like 4K into 8K. How that was like a thing.
So you can
Like
barely
no one can you can't notice.
Yeah!
You can't notice.
Unless you're fucking like...
Unless you're fucking Kano with a cybernetic eye.
Right?
You
Exactly.
can't notice.
Yeah.
What really does suck as well is the Nintendo Switch online service, or the Nintendo Online service. How the Switch 2 is exclusively getting the GameCube games.
Yeah.
Because those can absolutely run on the Nintendo Switch.
Of course.
But they're preying on your nostalgia as a selling point.
Which, I mean, at the same time, I get it because they're trying to sell their new product and get, just kind of get away from their old product. that's a business standpoint.
Yeah.
You can only hold on to a certain a certain product for so long. You're releasing a new product, you gotta eventually step away from it. You
Yeah.
get it.
Oh.
It's still too fucking early for it.
We're not saying you can't tell the difference between 30 and 60 frames per second. We're saying that either of those are fine.
Right?
I mean, it also does depend on, like say you're playing a fighting game. That's where it really makes a difference.
Yeah.
Or like an FPS, but... Excuse me. Let's catch up with the chat here before we continue on with our points. So, let's go right here. We'll start there with Snark.
Snark says, if I remember, the only console to make a profit lately is the original Wii.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
I mean, that thing was... You could not find it anywhere when it came out.
Seattle Chef says, I'm disappointed. It's running hardware equivalent to a PS4 Pro charging top dollar without full backwards compatible. Physical games are download keys.
Yeah, and we'll be hitting on that right now.
Yeah. Anno Gamer says, for the meantime, I'll stick with my OG Switch. I have lots of physical cards to play in my backlog. As with most people. Fuck.
Most peaceful.
Good bit.
Most peaceful.
Seattle Chef says, I would get it if I needed a handheld, but I play at home primarily. Which
Fair.
is, yeah.
I mean, I play at home primarily too, but on the toilet.
Right.
With my Switch.
Well, I mean, like when we went to game on Xbox, I took my Switch.
I did too, and
Yeah.
I did play.
A little bit.
I played on the toilet and while laying down. Not on the toilet. I don't lay on the toilet. Weird. Could you imagine like planking on a toilet, taking a shit?
That's impressive.
Yeah.
Snark says, from what I saw when I had mine, the Steam Deck was about the performance level of a stock PS4, which is honestly pretty impressive.
Yeah.
Nerd Strategy says, it's still weird to see you without a mustache.
So he says, yeah. And then Ando says, nice controller to win. ... Lucky. And he says, I wasn't expecting anything. Yeah, no, I mean, it was literally at the mercy of my wife's prize wheel app, picking random seat numbers. Hope you're enjoying that. Have you tried the controller out, Nerd Strategy? Have you tried it out?
Dude,
Snark says,
I just want to say before we continue, those fucking Retro Fighter controllers are amazing.
yes.
They are some of the best wireless controllers I've ever had laid my hands on.
The ease of accessibility with them. You charge it for like a couple hours, maybe like 2 or 3 hours, and it's like at a full capacity for like several days.
Which is wild.
Yeah, they last way longer than my PS5 controllers do.
Right?
And then like you charge it, and then you put in the receiver into the console, and then you just turn on the console, and then press like the home button or whatever on the controller. Syncs up immediately.
It's ready to go ASAP.
Like that.
Right?
And what's great is like literally, I want to say all of their controllers, the wireless ones, work on the PC.
Don't they do?
Yeah, so if you're a PC player and you're playing emulated games, bro.
And dude, like when I use the Hunter on the PC,
Which is the Xbox controller,
Yeah.
OG Xbox.
dude, not only is it feels comfortable in the hand, it's not heavy, but it's not light either.
Yeah.
It feels great.
Yeah, I like my tech to have some heft in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you don't want it to feel super heavy either. you know?
Right.
It's the perfect weight. It syncs up immediately with the fucking dongle on the PC.
Yeah.
Like I literally hook it up, it goes and then boom, ready to go.
Yeah. So Snark says, eye candy does not mean a good game.
Exactly.
One word. Toshinden. Remember how everyone drooled over that game and it played like shit compared to Virtua Fighter 2? Yep. Battle Arena Toshinden. Snark also said you can easily make. Oh yeah, that's what I was talking about with the frames per second shit. And then he says, speaking of the GameCube, I had it run perfectly fine on my Steam Deck. F-Zero GX ran at a perfect 60 on it, even on Sand Ocean, which taxes my emulators. Are you talking about? You mean Star Ocean? Not Sand Ocean?
If it is Star Ocean.
Yeah. Seattle Chef said, Nintendo knows people will pay whatever Nintendo wants to charge. They might as well charge $120 per game. And then Nerd Strategy says, not yet. I passed out from the convention and had to go to work. I will tonight. That's nice. I think even the 8-bit dough takes a second with syncing. Yeah. So... No, Sand Ocean is the one of... Oh, okay, F-Zero tracks. Gotcha.
Wow.
Yeah, I thought it was like a fucking typo, like Star Ocean, bro. So to hop on like to what Seattle Chef was saying, and then I think, because I had said that we were going to talk about that in a minute, let's go up back to the backwards compatibility that he had also brought up. So let's talk about that. So it's not even a guarantee that all games, because it says it's not a guarantee that all games will be backwards compatible on the Nintendo Switch 2. And from what it sounds like, the Nintendo Switch 2 isn't going to natively run the games, but they will emulate them.
What?
Yeah, so it won't read the card, the game card, or cartridge, whatever it is. It will like essentially download the data and then emulate it.
Yeah, no.
Because apparently none of the components in the Switch 2 match up to the Switch 1. So that's why they got to emulate them. So that's also why it will not have full backwards compatibility. At first, people thought, oh, it's not going to have full backwards compatibility because of the Joy-Cons not having the RF sensors on them anymore.
Yeah.
Where they normally are. I think they just, maybe they moved the RF sensors to... I have no idea what the fucking mouse sensors are. Because you can use them as mice now.
Yeah.
Which I think is cool. Opens up a whole new doorway for new games to be on the system itself.
Yeah.
But yeah. But now we're getting word that like, yeah, dude, it's emulating the games. It's not going to play them off of the cart. Which is nuts to me. And then also too, to hop on, like to piggyback on that, on the Switch 2, the games, I hate saying this, the game carts are keys.
Yeah.
The full game data is not on the cart anymore.
The thing is, that's how most...
Yes, but that's what made Nintendo different from
Yes.
Microsoft and Sony.
Exactly, you're right about that.
I mean, at Game On Expo last year when I was on Premium Editions panel, that was one thing that they loved about the Switch is that the full game data is on the game cart itself.
Yeah. Yep. And it sucks. It's super fucking shitty. And it goes back to the whole... You don't need a fucking game with the most advanced state-of-the-art fucking graphics to play it.
Right.
Dude, like, for example, right now, with the Discord group I'm with, like my friends that they had me join, we're playing through Borderlands 2, which is a PS3 game.
Right.
You know, we're trying to get my brother-in-law to play, like, finish playing through it, because we all understand that it was a great game, it was fun, and it had its issues, but it was fantastic.
Right.
And he's enjoying it. It's a PS3 fucking game. It doesn't have the world's best fucking graphics. It doesn't have the world's best fucking FPS. You know what I mean? it has its flaws, but like we're playing through it because it was a fun game.
Yeah, but I'm not to be a dick, but like, what does that have to do with the games not being on the cart?
PS3 had the games on the fucking disc.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, you don't even have to go back that far because they were on the they were on the Nintendo Switch carts.
But I thought PS4 had it where it wasn't on the.
Not all of them. Not all of them. Some did. Some did. Seattle Chef says, back to the graphics thing. If Xbox or PlayStation put out a brand new system like the Switch 2 with inferior graphics to the competition, everyone would shit all over it. And I think that's a fair thing to say, but I also think it's fair to say that a lot of people are shitting on it. When I was watching Maximilian Dude, which is he is a very big Twitch streamer and YouTuber, and several other people, one of the things that I had heard that was a common thread was, well, it was about Mario Kart World. They go, oh, well, that's just Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. It looks the same.
Yeah.
But here's the thing, right? I agree with him, but at the same time, when it comes to a game like Mario Kart World versus Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, when you look at the graphical style, or I'm sorry, the artistic style of those games, when you think of a Nintendo game, you expect it to look a certain way, correct?
Yeah, fair.
You expect a 3D Mario to look like a 3D Mario, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's what they're going to give you. Maybe with a little bit more shine, a little more polish.
Yeah.
But that's it.
Yeah.
So that's it. That's what you're going to get. But people are mad at that now. But if you go and make a redesign like they did with Donkey Kong, for example, Donkey Kong now looks more like he did in the Super Mario Brothers movie.
Oh.
Like the eyes, for example, instead of them being like white and stuff, it's black now.
Mm-hmm.
And he looks a little more youthful, but like still muscular and stuff, but his fur looks a little different too.
Yeah.
People are like, what the fuck? He looks so different. And like, so at that point, when you're Nintendo, you're like, oh, what the fuck, bro?
Yeah.
I tried. So
There's arguments for both sides.
yeah, so when it comes to like the graphics of a Nintendo game, I don't expect a whole lot, honestly, because let's be real here. Nintendo hasn't tried to be a powerhouse in the graphics department since the SNES.
Yeah. No, you're right about that.
They kind of tried with the N64, but that was also a wild west of going into 3D gaming.
Yeah.
So I don't necessarily include that in the whole debate there. But graphically speaking, dude, I mean, if you're playing a Nintendo game, you're playing a cartoon.
Which, I mean, me personally, as a person who's, played Nintendo for a while, I'm okay with that.
Yeah, I'm okay with it too. But again, it goes back to the pricing of the console and the pricing of the games. And I feel like you're trying to slap me in the face and have me apologize for you slapping me in the face when it comes to charging me that much, but giving me the same product, but calling it new.
I mean, I get
You
it.
see what I'm saying?
I get it. But at the same time, like, the reason I say it's expensive, kind of steep but fair, I get it. Shit's getting more fucking expensive nowadays.
Josh, would you pay full price of a PS1 game on your PS5? Like, for example, Twisted Metal. Say it was like $50 at launch. Are you going to pay, if you saw it on the PSN, would you pay $50 for Twisted Metal 1? on your PS5.
I'm trying to understand where you're getting that comparison from.
Just answer the question.
I mean, no, but
Okay, so why would you pay $80 to play Mario Kart World on the Switch 2, even though it's pretty much the same graphics engine, gameplay, and so on that the Switch had? Like,
All
you
right.
see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get that part. Which I fully understand.
Like, sure, there are some differences, right? Like, how in Mario Kart World, it's kind of like free roaming and shit like that. You can have up to 24 racers. And they redesigned Donkey Kong.
Yeah.
Does that warrant a industry standard change in price from like $60 to $80? The most expensive game you can buy on the Switch at a store right now is $60.
I mean, where I'm confused is where I at no point tried to defend the fucking $80 to $90
Yeah.
fucking.
No, but you were. Okay, go ahead. Keep going.
You know, I at
I
no
think the
point.
beers are catching up with you, is what's happening.
Yeah, no. At no point was I trying to defend, games trying to, jumping up from, $60 to $70 to $80 to $90.
Yeah,
At no point was I trying to defend that.
right. But you were saying how you could kind of see how, they could charge a little more. You did say I can see how you were like,
Yeah,
I can
like
see
like
both
for
sides.
the console wise.
Oh, console
And
wise, okay.
yeah, console wise, and then game wise, I can see them. All right, fuck it. If they want to do 75, I get it.
Sure.
Incrementally increasing these. God, fucking the more I drink, the more Mexican I sound. Incrementally increasing.
Incrementally
Yeah.
increasing, bro. You know
In-
what I'm saying, folks?
Incrementally increasing these games
Carne
prices.
asada,
Fuck, I want some now.
chili con queso.
Right? These game prices, a little bit at a time. I get it. That's
Yeah.
understandable. That's fair.
Yeah.
But jumping $20 to $30 in one go, that's ass.
That is ass.
Yeah.
And I think, again, that is another negative talking point here on the Nintendo Switch and Nintendo Switch 2 and Nintendo as a company.
Yes.
Now, with all this said, I think with all the negativity and stuff, and also too, let's not forget, Nintendo has now pulled the pre-orders.
Yeah.
They were supposed to go live on April 9th, and now because of the tariffs, they're not happening right now. And I would just like to say here to all of the viewers and stuff, tariffs aren't anything new, and other countries tariff us more than we tariff them.
Yep.
Okay, so we need to stop being mad right now about our current, government policy or whatever on tariffs. Our country has been getting ripped off for years and years and years with tariffs, and I think it's about time that we finally started trying to make some money back to this country and start enticing local and just local manufacturing and depending on ourselves as a country more than depending on others.
Which that's one point I wanted to say on that. I never understood why people get mad of the whole tariff thing. It's like the whole point of the tariffs is to make manufacturing happen in the U.S.
Yeah.
But if you get mad about that, you know what? That's your
Yeah,
opinion.
I mean, like when you learn to ride a bike, you don't just automatically ride a bike like a Jeep. You crash
Unless
before you can start to ride.
I mean,
And
I
and
I
that's
never
in
had that
my-
issue, but
Yeah, whatever. That's in my opinion. What has to happen in order for this all to work out is you gotta crash your bike, and that's what had happened last week. As soon as the tariffs hit, the stock market went down, and then today, I log on to the internet to get onto Canva and make the thumbnail. And the first article I saw on the landing page for Google was stocks are up and blah 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 blah. So everyone freaked out last week when the tariffs hit, and then now everyone's like, "Oh, shit's cool now. It's okay."
Right.
You know, you're gonna crash your bike before you can, you know, start to, you know, ride on the street or whatever. But yeah, no, I think all this said, it's going to solidify and even more so drive up the prices of Switch games. Switch 1 games.
Yeah.
So, if you've got the money right now, if you love your Nintendo Switch and you value your Nintendo Switch collection, hang on to it and start buying games, you know, that you want and stuff, because I see scalpers going into the market and buying up all the copies of all these extra Nintendo Switch games that no one's bought. You know, I could totally see people going into the stores and buying, you know, all the remaining Mario Odysseys and Princess Peach Showtime and Mario Karts and this and that, because it's going to be a really sought after commodity after the Nintendo Switch 2 launches, because number one, the games are cheap right now compared to what they will be for the Switch 2.
Yep.
And scalpers are just going to take advantage of that. It's a sad reality, but I think, you know, like in video game collecting, you see trends, and you know, it's normally a trend through time. So when I first started collecting, the NES was on a downward slope, and the SNES was on its way up. And it all happens because of people who grew up with the with the SNES are now adults and have money to spend on it and want to buy back their childhood. And then after the SNES has its time in the sun and peaks, it'll go down. And then the Sega Saturn will go up, and then it'll go down. You know, I think right now we are on the PS3 and Xbox 360 hitting its heights. But I think with the Nintendo Switch, we're going to see a collecting generational jump happen, where the Switch will be the next thing to go up before it goes down. That's just my opinion, my thought on it. I ultimately hope it doesn't happen, but I gotta be realistic here and say that I do think scalpers are going to take advantage of the high prices of the Nintendo Switch 2.
Oh yeah.
And see all the people who want to just keep buying Switch games in general. And that goes for the limited run kind of games. Not just saying limited run, but even premium edition and so on and so forth. Because I think third-party developers, a lot of these indie developers, are going to look at the Switch and go, I'm just going to keep developing for that.
Yeah, you got a good point there.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or if they make a physical version, they can put digital on both of them, but make the physical for the Switch 1.
Yeah.
You know? And then the last point here is that something Radical Reggie had told us over the weekend, which was a lot of people got upset and didn't necessarily buy the 3DS when it had launched.
Oh,
And
yeah.
after a few months, Nintendo dropped the price of it, and then it started to sell.
Yeah.
That was when Nintendo was kind of at a weird spot. The 3DS was out the same time the Wii U was out, and the Wii U was a critical failure.
Yeah.
I do not think Nintendo will bend the knee this time and drop the price of the Switch 2. Because there are more people willing to buy the Switch 2 out of FOMO than not. So I don't think we're going to see a significant price drop, or a price drop at all, with the Nintendo Switch 2 for at least a few years.
You think so?
I think so. I think so. With all the backlash Nintendo is getting right now, I haven't seen them come out with one single statement. If anything, they've doubled down. So, we'll see. But those are our thoughts on the Nintendo Switch 2. Do you have anything else to add to it?
So far, no.
Yeah. All right, so we're just going to go ahead and end it here, guys. Thank you so much for watching this episode of the Nsquared podcast. If you liked it, please leave a thumbs up on your way out. And if you're new here, please leave a thumbs up and subscribe. It's free. What's not free is our Patreon. If you really like what you see here, please consider supporting us over at patreon.com/nsquaredpodcast. For as little as $3, you can help support our show and channel grow in quality content. Every single dollar that goes into our Patreon account goes right back into this show. Right now, I think the thing that we are saving up for is a new ring light to go right here, so we are actually properly illuminated. And then also too, the multi-streaming membership for Streamlabs, so we can actually stream on YouTube and other places at the same time every Monday night. Because right now we're using the free version of Streamlabs, so the multi-stream feature is locked, and the membership, to get the Ultra membership as they call it, is like $160 or something like that. So, anything helps, guys. We are not yet monetized on YouTube, so we don't really, we don't earn anything. And we do this for fun. We do this for you guys. We love you guys. We thank you so much for watching us. Shout out to our sponsors, HubDaddyStore.com. Use code Mustache10 to get yourself 10% off your order of coffees, mugs, candles in mugs. You can use later for coffee. Mustache10 at checkout for that. And W.GG. Code Nsquared10 to get yourself 10% off your order of energy drink supplements. And then again, thank you to all of our beautiful Patreon show producers over there. Thank you to Game On Expo for having us as guests this year for to ring in the 10th year anniversary. Like, it's just amazing. I've been to 9 out of 10 of the Game On Expos, and it has been incredible to see that show go from a little ballroom show at a hotel to taking over an entire section of Phoenix. It's absolutely nuts. So thank you, John Lester, and congrats to Zombie JLT1 for winning the Guilty Gear sticker sheets. You can find me on X at BuffNerd and on Instagram at NerdyNick_91. You can't find Josh anywhere, but what you can do is follow us over on Facebook. Just type in that search bar Nsquared Podcast and click that like or follow button. We thank you guys so much for watching, and until next time, be blessed, be a blessing to others, and game on.
Deuces.